Tuesday edition of the Dan O'Donnell Show with this plea. Please be careful out on the roads. I know I'm usually making fun of the oversaturation of snow coverage and whether or not school should have been canceled. My kids woke up this morning. Their school was in session. They woke up and there was no snow on the ground whatsoever. Well, it is coming down now. The roads are incredibly treacherous. We will provide updates on the freeways and get to if there are any serious crashes as much as we can. The weather, of course, is the big story today. We continue to be under a winter storm warning for much of our listening area. Pretty much if you have an after-school activity or something tonight, just assume it's going to be closed. If you don't absolutely have to be out on the roads, just don't be out on the roads because it is very treacherous getting around. I'm already dreading the drive home, and that's not for another 3 hours. Now, we are also following a developing story that I first broke on social media a couple of hours ago. A Milwaukee police officer is, as I understand it, still in surgery or possibly just out of surgery after he was shot and badly injured by a suspect who, even amidst the snowstorm, was out near 27th and Wisconsin brandishing a long gun believed to be an AK-47 or an AR-15. I actually have a picture posted of that suspect from security or Ring doorbell footage that was obtained by one of my law enforcement sources of the suspect waving that gun in the air. Now, that led to calls, obviously, 27th and Wisconsin, very busy intersection. Not a lot of people outside today because of the snow, so suspect opened fire on them, striking the officer several times, at least once in the leg and possibly once or twice in the chest. Now, fortunately, the officer was wearing body armor, which very likely saved his life. A total of 3 officers, I am told, the injured officer as well as 2 other officers who responded to the scene returned fire, striking and killing the suspect with at least 2 shots right to his chest. An investigation is still ongoing at last check, and you'll have to forgive me, folks, because I may seem to be distracted throughout the show today. That is me getting messages from law enforcement sources. Whenever there is breaking news like this, typically I get tipped off to a lot of different aspects, and a lot of times it's just filtering through information from, boy, oh boy, too many sources to count, and to try to figure out, okay, what exactly happened, what's going on here. As far as I know, the suspect did not have photo ID or any sort of ID on him, so there is still an effort to identify him. Now, I am not going to share the identity of the suspect who was injured because I am going to follow the lead of the Milwaukee Police Department, and when they feel it appropriate to release the officer's name and how long he's been with the department, they will do so. The officer was conscious as he was loaded into the ambulance. I am not sure how with it he was, but I can tell you at one point before he was treated or while he was being treated, he did give a thumbs up. So he was conscious enough to be able to do that. He was immediately transported by ambulance to Frederick Hospital, where he was immediately prepped for surgery. I am told he's either just out of surgery or still in surgery. The extent of his injuries, I do not know yet. As soon as I get anything that I feel comfortable that wouldn't identify this officer or wouldn't jeopardize an ongoing law enforcement investigation, I will be sharing that with you. And now we have Dave Michaels, our news guy. Dave, why don't you hop on the mic for me and just share this information. Just come on in here because I've been working on a whole lot of other things. This was a 34-year-old police officer with 8 years with the Milwaukee Police Department. That actually jibes with the name and ID of the officer that I got as well.
Yeah, Dan, at a press conference about a half hour ago, Police Chief Jeffrey Norman confirmed that the officer who was shot, a 34-year-old officer, 8+ years with MPD. There was another officer on the scene who is believed to have killed the suspect. That was a 37-year-old who has also been with the police department for at least 8 years, and say with me, he's now been placed on administrative duty.
All right, and as far as an identification of that suspect, still unknown?
Correct. In fact, a couple of reporters confirmed with the police chief. They said unidentified suspect. In other words, you don't know anything, and Chief Norman confirmed what you had reported just a few minutes ago as well, Dan, that yes, there was no identification on that individual, so they're, for obvious reasons, having a tough time trying to figure out exactly who he was.
All right, thank you so much, Dave. Dave Michaels is going to provide updates on that as well. I was sort of in my final little sprint to try to get ready for the show, and I'll be totally honest with you, I thought the press conference was at 3:30, so my apologies that we do now know that the officer is 34 years old, 8 years with the Milwaukee Police Department, and our prayers obviously go out to him. As soon as we find out any information regarding the identity of this suspect or anything like that, we will absolutely bring that to you. Now, it's been kind of a crappy day. Let's be totally honest with ourselves. One of Milwaukee's finest, shot and badly injured, some absolute dreg of society, brandishing some sort of long gun on one of the busiest streets in the state of Wisconsin, Wisconsin Avenue. You've got a snowstorm that's basically grinding everything to a halt. You have got more spin-outs and fender benders and crashes than you can count. It's been a bad day. I won't say a bad day per se, but you know what I'm saying. I happen to be bizarrely in a very good mood. Then again, I'm sitting on my fat rear end inside a heated, very comfortable radio studio. So my thoughts go out to all the cops who are out there, obviously on a day like today. You know, normally you think about, you don't want to be in, the trades or something like that. You got to be outside and it stinks. Every day, a police officer never knows. He goes out on a day like this or a beautiful 80-degree summer afternoon and never knows whether he's going to confront somebody who's going to try to take his life. I have such incredible respect for the men and women who do that every single day to allow me to be safe and warm and to be able to do what it is I do. I recognize your sacrifice. I recognize all the work of people who do any job that requires them to be in uncomfortable and sometimes dangerous situations. So with that said, I understand. For those of you who've been outside all day, maybe you're a trucker, you're driving Uber or something like that, you've been on the roads and it's just sucked. We all kind of need a little pick-me-up, don't we? Paul very quickly reminds me, yes, there is probably a lot of gold bricking today. Pretty much every business that gives employees the option of working remotely gave their employees the option of working remotely today. It is remarkable. I got absolutely no sales emails. Normally, I get at least 2 or 3 a day reminding me to do this or that or whatever it is. It is so weird. It's funny, though. I saw our sales manager, Danny Lenz, great guy, wonderful dude. He was actually outside on a hill laughing and yelling as he was going down on a toboggan, which I thought was sort of rude, just right outside the radio station windows. In fact, I saw him as he was putting on his stocking cap. He was waving to me with his mittens as you and I are actually forced to go to the office, and apparently sales gets a nice snow day. No, we kid, of course, because we love Danny and his team are the ones who actually keep the lights on for us. But we need not everybody is on the sled hill. Our program director, Jerry Bott, didn't come into the office today because he didn't have to. I actually have video that was provided to me by a source of Jerry at the ice skating rink at Conkle Park in Greenfield. He did a nice little pirouette. He's got the Christy Yamaguchi white skates on. So I'm glad everybody outside of the people who actually had to go into work today are having a good time. We had kind of a crap day. Thank you very much. And we could use a little pick-me-up. Ladies and gentlemen, what do I always say? It's okay to be a boomer. It's okay to be even a lib. But if you are a boomer lib, just know the rest of us think you to be the cringiest creature on earth. Ladies and gentlemen, the boomer libs are at it again with a brand new anti-Trump, anti-Elon Musk, anti-Doge banger that they sang during their ongoing protests outside of the U.S. Capitol, where they are protesting the auditing of how our tax money is spent. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a brand new, for your enjoyment, for your entertainment, a brand new boomer lib banger. This is Which Side Are You On?
Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Tell me. Which side are you on? Which side are you on? We'll fight against Doge. We'll fight Elon Musk. No Elon's kept within our walls. We'll fight from dawn to dusk.
Oh, which side are you on? It's catchy.
Which side are you on?
Sing it, boomer libs.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
Now, it's a bold move by these boomer libs, putting the tone-deaf old lady who just kind of squawks in front of the microphone. And, oh, yes, it went on for 3 more verses.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Tell me. Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Trump's coming for our unions. He wants us all to fail. He wants us to bow to him, but we want him in jail. Oh, which side are you on? Which side are you on? Tell me.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Thank you, boomer libs, for being so cringy. We have got the remaining 2 verses, and yes, it goes downhill and more off-key from there, that we will play for you if you people start to tick me off today. I'm telling you, that's the funniest thing I've heard. This makes the lib freakouts over Elon Musk and Doge and everything worthwhile, ladies and gentlemen. Look, I had to spend most of the day tracking down whether a Milwaukee police officer was alive or dead. I needed that laugh as much as any of you. And what you need is another crack at $1,000. Yesterday at about this time, well, much earlier, I actually got to giving you the cold hard cash contest word of the hour. Dave from West Bend was listening to me. His entry was randomly picked, and he won $1,000. He is the 9th winner for our flagship station, WISN, since the Cold Hard Cash contest started. The 3rd winner here on the Dan O'Donnell Show. How about we make the next winner you? The word this hour is pay. P-A-Y. Pay. You have got until 55 past the hour to go to our website and enter the keyword pay, as in you couldn't pay me enough to be one of those boomer lib singers. Your entry is picked at random, $1,000 in your pocket. You know, I always wondered whatever happened to the Solidarity Singers over at the Wisconsin State Capitol. Turns out they just moved. We'll be right back.
Classical conservatism. Contemporary style. Dan O'Donnell will be right back.
If an emergency happened tomorrow, would you truly be prepared? Most Americans aren't. My Patriot Supply, America's most trusted name in emergency preparedness, is offering a special discount on their Mega 3-month emergency food kit. Each kit provides over 250 calories daily for 90 days. These aren't typical survival rations. My Patriot Supply provides delicious meals and extras, including chicken, beef, real meat, fruits, and veggies. Being prepared is a state of mind. Go to mypatriotsupply.com and take advantage of this $250 discount to secure your family's future now. If you order by 3 p.m., your order will ship within the same day, so you'll be prepared in no time. That's mypatriotsupply.com. mypatriotsupply.com.
We're the Libby family.
At Do-It-Yourself Bathroom Center near State Fair on 62nd and Greenfield.
If your bathroom needs work, we're the place to go.
Our people really know their stuff, and we install.
Plus, nobody beats our prices. Remember our slogan,
I did it myself at Do-It-Yourself.
Bob from Redefined Realty here. I'd written my own ads for 20 years.
Creative genius. Here. Same. Well, Inet's ads and 100 other businesses' ads.
Writing your own ads, you kind of get stuck repeating the same message. Different words, but the same perspective.
Before introducing Easy Home Bidder, Bob came to Inet to brand his brainchild, MLS Listing Backed by Auction. It's brilliant. MLS guarantees the home is found. Auction guarantees the highest sale price. Period.
Inet branded it, wrote our story, knocked our marketing out of the park. When you think of selling your home, you know MLS and auction together is the right choice.
Redefined also benefits from unparalleled radio buying power, industry influence, and extracurricular enhancement of being part of the Inet community. More than 1,000 businesses working together for each other's successes.
Websites, branding, design, video, and radio. Inet is improving the economy one business at a time.
InetDishWeb.com.
CreativeGeniusMarketing.com.
Buyers, sellers, real estate for winners. RedefinedRealty.com.
Hey, Dan O'Donnell here for the Lynch family of dealerships. I've been a big proponent of Lynch for a while now. Here's why. They're literally a family dealership and have been since 1957. That's increasingly rare in the dealership world today, but the Lynch family employs 500 plus people who are all dedicated to taking care of you. They've got a wide selection of new and used vehicles, extended service department hours for early drop-offs and late pickups, and most importantly, they're proud supporters of our local communities and schools. They also stand behind what they sell with Lynch-certified used vehicles, including a 168-point inspection to determine eligibility, an unparalleled 90-day or 3,000-mile certified guarantee, and a 10-day 500-mile exchange policy. And when you pair this with the Lynch Protected program, they cover your paint, your windshield, and your tires, it's easy to see why you should consider Lynch. Check them out today at shoplynch.com.
I bet you have some great ideas. And what excites me is being able to use them to help design a home for you that's unique. A home that no one else has. That stretches both your and our imagination.
Downham Homes.
Aristotle was a Greek philosopher who helped to lay the groundwork for Western philosophy.
The Aristotle bedroom at Penny Mustard is where you can lay down after a long day of work.
Aristotle, the philosopher, was diverse in his studies of physics, zoology, anatomy, astronomy, poetry, and more.
The Aristotle bedroom is also diverse. It coordinates with any decor.
People who met Aristotle considered him to be the smartest man in the world.
People who buy the Aristotle bedroom are smart, too, because it's a versatile bedroom that seamlessly blends with existing furniture.
American made with solid wood, forever tight bed brackets, and lots of underbed storage.
You won't believe how deep these drawers are.
Just think of all the togas you can store down there.
The Aristotle bedroom, featuring a queen bed with underbed storage, 9-drawer dresser, mirror, and 3-drawer nightstand, starting at $10,749 at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
Better versions of what people want.
Penny Mustard Furnishing.
WISN listeners are wise, enlightened, engaged, and have impeccably good taste. Thank you for making us Wisconsin's most listened to radio station. News Talk 1130 WISN.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Tell me. Which side are you on? Which side are you on? They say in the capital city there are no neutrals found. You're either with the Union or a scabby Musk bloodhound. Oh, which side are you on? Which side are you on? Tell me. Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I truly am. For all those of you texting saying that you had headaches, I apologize that I may have made them worse. I'm telling you, how many times have I said it? Just since I started doing this afternoon show, there is nothing cringier than a boomer lib. Nothing. When I say nothing, I mean nothing. Whether it's Chuck Schumer, who I think is so old, he's technically older than the boomers, holding up a beer and a guacamole, or the avocado, to say your Super Bowl guacamole is going to be ruined because of President Trump's tariffs on Mexico. Oh, whoops, the tariffs were already rescinded, to Jerry Nadler doing and saying whatever it is Jerry Nadler does and says. You will never find, whether it's someone you're arguing with on social media, whether it's your liberal wine aunt who gets a little too drunk and lays into your dad every Thanksgiving over how terrible Donald Trump is, you will not find a cringier creature on earth than a boomer liberal. It's like they never grew up after about 1968, 69. They're still in that summer of love, and they don't realize that they are now... Do you think these boomer libs realize that they are now siding with the exact establishment that they hate? It's like never trust anyone over 30 has become never trust anyone under 75. These are the boomer libs. And at least they can sing, right? Let's let them bring it home. The final verse of the new boomer lib banger. Which side are you on?
Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Tell me. Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Don't take that government buyout. Don't listen to Trump's lies. Us workers haven't got a chance unless we organize. Oh, which side are you on? Which side are you on? Tell me. Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
Let's give it up for the boomer lib singers. Very upset about Elon Musk and Doge daring to save taxpayers a little money. Do you know who is almost as upset as those boomer lib singers? The Medical College of Wisconsin. Many are expressing concerns. A handout that was given to employees today says, feeling stressed and anxious about the recent executive orders and how they may be affected, and MCW's future. While many are aware of some communications from MCW leadership and the forming of an Executive Action Response Team, or EART, they may still feel unsure and anxious. Please encourage leaders, managers, and peers to use the General Employee and Family Assistance Program resources referenced and attached. A video that may provide some support. And they link to difficult conversations during times of unrest. Ladies and gentlemen, this is because the president made a couple of executive actions, one of which is you can't lob the genitals off of small children. And they're treating it like 9/11. The topic areas below, some specific to the current events that each of the EFAP, that's Employee and Family Assistance Program services, could assist with. There are counseling services provided over Trump's executive action. 10 sessions per person per presenting issue, includes household members, anxiety, fear, and stress, dealing with uncertainty, living with change, and depression over Elon Musk and Big Balls and the rest of the boys over at Doge trimming the fat out of a few government programs. There is also Financial Connect. This service is unlimited, MCW employees, okay? So you go nuts. Consultation on tariffs and what they can do. Discuss taxes and dependents and who qualifies as a dependent. Discuss market reactions to tariffs. Discuss budgeting in high inflation periods. All of these are services you can get if you're just feeling unsure. Of course, since this is a lib organization, we have legal services. And who do you suppose, Paul, who do you suppose legal services right now are 100% aimed at? That's right. Illegal immigrants, especially those illegal immigrants who have committed violent or other felonies and are now facing deportation. So MCW is providing resources for those whose family members may be facing deportation. They'll provide information and resources related to civil rights and ICE encounters. They'll provide information and articles related to same-sex marriages being overturned. Let me read that again to drive it home. They will provide information and articles related to same-sex marriages being overturned. Has anyone outside of the craziest of crazies, like some of those boomer lib singers, suggested that same-sex marriages will be overturned? Or is this just insane fear-mongering from an organization, the Medical College of Wisconsin, that should know better? Then there is Family Source. This service also unlimited for MCW employees. They'll help you locate charities to contribute to. So, libs, if you just can't stand the fact that there will be no longer transgender operas provided to the people of Syria, you can donate to charities that will do just that. Better yet, I would love it if you and a whole bunch of your liberal friends got on a plane and put on your own transgender opera in Syria. Let me know how it goes. Let me know how the crowd reacts, if you can. They will also help you, through Family Source, locate resources such as financial assistance due to the tariffs and potential for reducing Medicaid and other public assistance programs. Once again, has there been any discussion of reducing Medicaid? Or, in the alternative, have Trump, have Musk, have Caroline Leavitt, and anyone else speaking on behalf of the Trump administration said over and over and over again, Social Security payments, Medicare payments, Medicaid payments will not be impacted. Coverage under Medicare and Medicaid will not be impacted. Disbursements, anything, none of it. There will also be phone apps that can help limit media consumption or block access to certain websites or keywords. Maybe even help setting up a schedule to track media usage. Boy, this is just the left in a nutshell, right? They can't cope when things don't go their way. They can't even consume information that might go against their worldview. No wonder they're so hot to trot about censorship. No wonder one of the first things the Biden administration did, even before it got into office, was to censor information that was deemed to be just too dangerous for public consumption. They will actually help you find, at the Medical College of Wisconsin, phone apps that can help limit media consumption or block access to certain websites or keywords. There are also support groups for an array of topics like stress, anxiety, depression, etc., because of these things. When life feels overwhelming, we can help. Confidential, 24/7 support through MC Well 360. That note sent by Debbie Klock, the Business Operations Senior Coordinator at the Medical College of Wisconsin. If you are just feeling overwhelmed, wait, these are doctors. They're not supposed to get overwhelmed if their patient is coding on the table, but they need to have access to certain information blocked so they don't get too stressed about tariffs? Okay. You're listening to the Dan O'Donnell Show. When we come back, did Milwaukee Public Schools just make a horrible mistake again?
When winter's frosty grip squeezes out all the joy of the season, that's when to heat things up by playing the nationwide Cold Hard Cash Contest on News Talk 1130 WISN.
Win some cash.
9 times each weekday. Listen for the keyword to enter at newstalk1130.com, and you could win the hourly prize of $1,000.
The Cold Hard Cash Contest is presented by Belinsky Homes, building homes ready to handle your life. Visit Belinsky.com to find your right fit. Belinsky Homes, built for life.
Team up with the Brewers for an epic company event this season. Gather your crew of just 15 or more for a Brewers group outing and trade weekday meetings for a fun-filled day at American Family Field. Featuring options like tailgate spaces, all-inclusive areas, seating blocks, and more. Plus, Brewers ticket representatives will make planning your event easy, as they'll be your concierge while you book your event. Start planning your company outing today at brewers.com/groups.
When selling a home, do you need to pay the buyer's agent a commission? This is Paul Leby with Lake Country Flat Fee. That's been a popular question recently, and the answer to that is no, you do not. You can choose to offer a commission to the buyer's agent, or that could be negotiated as part of the offer to purchase. When you sell with us, you control what gets paid to any buyer's agent. Our sellers save about 50% versus a traditional 6% broker. To learn more or to schedule a free market analysis, visit our website at lakecountryflatfee.com.
Accunet Mortgage is an equal housing lender, NMLS ID 255368.
This is Chief Anti-Heartbreak Officer Brian Wickert. While national headlines talk about the inventory of homes for sale being a lot higher this year, that's still not the case in most of Wisconsin. The good news is that now, even in winter, Accunet's experienced loan consultants are already helping many of our pre-approved home shoppers become homeowners and avoid the heartbreak of losing in a multi-offer situation. Sure, you can go with a flimsy, unimaginative bank pre-approval, or you can present your offer with an Accunet rock-solid, fully verified, and guaranteed pre-approval that also might come with the phrase that really makes sellers happy: no appraisal required. When an appraisal is needed, we can also show you in dollars and cents what it means to willingly pay a certain dollar amount over the appraised value if that's what's needed to win, which is usually a lot less scary than people imagine. Reduce your risk of home shopper heartbreak by getting started with your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval at Accunet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Hey, Dan O'Donnell for Mander Collision and Glass, now with 7 locations to serve you across the greater Milwaukee area. Start your repair right now at mandercollision.com. Mander truly is the best decision after a collision.
If you're a woman looking to take control of your financial future, you are not alone. Women are leading the way in business and managing household finances, but challenges still exist. That's why NX Wealth Management Entertainment presents the Women in Wealth series every third Thursday. It'll empower you with knowledge and resources to succeed. Join us for collaborative discussions, community building, and learn about key areas of financial planning. Women in Wealth events are free every third Thursday. Sign up at annexwealth.com/events and bring a friend.
I'm defense attorney Tom Grieve. Never drive drunk. If you do, don't believe police officers who tell you it's just a ticket and a 6-month suspension. Pay it and put this behind you. You'll likely have to install an ignition interlock device to blow into before starting your car. Protects the public and shames you with your friends and family. Your license will be revoked. You can go to jail for 1 year if caught driving revoked. Even if you swear you did never drive revoked, most people do. With a to and from work permit, one snowstorm, long meeting, or traffic jam, and you're driving revoked. An officer runs your plate while driving, and you're in even more serious trouble. You'll participate in alcohol and drug assessments, a driver's safety plan, and alcohol classes. You could even lose your job. Prosecutors will tenaciously prosecute you without empathy, regardless of your clean driving record. Your first DUI conviction never disappears from your record. Just a ticket and 6-month suspension, and a Scarlet A for life. Charged with an OWI, your best chance is to call my team of award-winning former state prosecutors. You are only guilty if you are convicted. GrieveLaw.com.
For safe, purified water right from your faucet, the solution is crystal clear.
Any project, big or small, when it comes to water, one call does it all. S&K, pump and plumbing.
Hi, Matt Geyer here. Local and regional manufacturers, rather than brokering shipments in and out of your manufactory, MKG Transport is the moving partner 100% committed to your bottom line. MKG Transport moves materials, parts, pieces, assemblies for the processes performed by associate businesses. Transported same day, next day, and when needed to keep your production and process moving. Brought back same day, next day. Collaborating with other producers for processes outside your wheelhouse is simple with MKG Transport. Molded plastics or metal to be cut or coated, then moved right back for the next production step. Or simply parts exactly where you need them on time. MKG is a fluid operator. Your individual manufacturing moving needs will become our operational protocol for your business. With MKG, there are no surprises. Your product in process will be where you need it, when you need it. The price quoted is the price you pay. Our drive, manufacturing movement, mkgtransport.com.
In a world where every second counts,
bird flu is spreading nationwide, driving up egg prices.
iHeartRadio has one podcast that keeps you informed. 24/7 News. The latest. Today's latest news every hour in just 4 minutes.
Rex Heuermann's case is being adjourned again.
Be the first to know.
President Trump has sent a loud and clear message.
iHeartRadio's 24/7 News. The latest. Open the free iHeart app and listen now.
Winter storm warning continues for our entire listening area through 3 a.m. The snow is going to wind down after midnight. A few additional inches are likely this evening. It is going to continue to be slow going on the roads, and now as it starts to get darker, visibility is going to get even less. It is slick. It is treacherous. Just don't head out if you don't have to. If you do, if you are out on the roads, well, just take it slow. Listen to me. We've got an entertaining show for you. Conservative superintendent candidate Britney Kinser, who is on the primary ballot on Tuesday. Less than a week from now, Wisconsin goes to the polls for its spring primary. Be sure to get out there and vote for Britney Kinser. She will be joining me at about 4:06 this afternoon. Last night, the Milwaukee Board of School Directors announced its new superintendent. Brenda Caselius will fill the role vacated by former Superintendent Keith Posley, who resigned in disgrace in June after a financial scandal that saw the district unable to account for nearly $800 million in federal taxpayer COVID relief funds that it still hasn't accounted for. Good thing Milwaukee taxpayers will have to foot the bill for a new $250 million referendum that was approved by voters last spring. With respect to Dr. Cassellius, did anybody even do the most basic level of research into her background? She's from Minnesota and was passed over for the superintendent job in her home school district in St. Paul. She was hired as the school superintendent in Boston, Massachusetts. She failed miserably. In fact, in an article in Boston Magazine entitled "Inside the Bunker at Boston Public Schools," there is a lengthy expose into just what a disaster Brenda Cassellius was. Even by the standards of a city that has had 5 superintendents in the past decade, Cassellius's first year and a half on the job since arriving from Minnesota, where she served as the commissioner of the Department of Education, has been tumultuous. She's overseen defections and ousters amongst her senior executives, a revolt from school principals, and public excoriation from influential nonprofits and activists. There have even been rumblings that she may not last much longer in her position. Those rumblings were correct. She was fired. She did not come to a mutual decision with the equally left-wing mayor, Michelle Wu. She was fired. She got a massive buyout, more than $300,000 in a separation agreement, and she was let go. This was March of 2022. Roughly 18 months after this article was published in 2020. Her colleagues, referring to Cassellius in Boston, found her leadership erratic. According to 5 current and former BPS officials, she often appeared to make snap decisions, seemingly without contemplating their ramifications. Current and former BPS officials came to believe that the root causes of Cassellius's scattershot ideas were her lack of attention to detail and short attention span. Previous superintendents had done deep dives into the details of how the district ran. But with Brenda, one former official says, word came down that if your presentation was more than a few slides, you would lose her. Wow. BPS officials were alarmed by the mounting evidence that she was an ineffective administrator. This didn't come entirely as a surprise. When she was selected as a finalist in the spring, BPS staffers at Bowling, as well as executives at education nonprofits, had called their contacts in Minnesota to get the scoop on the promising candidate. What they heard was troubling. Cassellius lacked strong executive leadership and strategic planning skills. Further, just before applying for the superintendent role in Boston, she had been turned down for the same job in Minneapolis. Her hometown school board, which had watched her work closely for years, passed her over, citing the scarce progress on closing achievement gaps during her 8 years as the top education official in the state. Her leadership skills are very lacking, a former Minnesota Department of Education official who worked with Cassellius told me. She's scattered, she struggles with talent management, and she doesn't provide a clear vision. Meanwhile, the senior leadership's ranks cleared out as incumbents defected or were pushed to resign. BPS officials stressed that the superintendent had every right to put her own team in place, but they found her methods strange. According to 4 former current and former BPS officials, she's offered multiple BPS employees significant promotions seemingly on a whim, with little knowledge of their track records. Even more unnerving was the growing sense among BPS staffers that Cassellius herself realized she was in over her head. In meetings, she often broke down in tears and said she felt overwhelmed, according to 3 people who witnessed these episodes. I don't like to criticize people for crying because it's often a form of sexism, says a current BPS official. But it's more than that. It's that she was falling apart. That's who Milwaukee just hired to be its new superintendent. The woman who was run out of Boston because she was so horribly unprepared for leadership. Good luck, Milwaukee. Sure sounds like you're going to need it. We will discuss that and more with Britney Kinser after the top of the hour. Unhinged Liberal next.
From the Lynch family of dealerships Total Traffic Center.
4194 southbound at Rawson got a crash block in the left lane. Police activity closes 27th both ways between Wisconsin and Kilbourne, Wisconsin between 27th and 25th, and Wells east of 27th. I'm Kevin Henry. That's your latest total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
What if I can guarantee the price of Bitcoin will be $1 million in 2030? Well, I can't, but I can guarantee you'll save a lot of money on blinds at my company, Blindster.com. Free samples, free shipping, and guaranteed to fit. Shop at Blindster.com today.
Hi, I'm Willa Voss. I'm 8 years old. Mom and Dad own Cut and Go Tree Service. Yes, they did name me after a tree. Our family loves this country and the freedom it provides. Every morning, I look forward to starting the school day with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please say it along with me, even if you just say it in your mind. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. American patriots will enjoy a 5% discount for flying the American flag and mentioning this commercial when the Cut and Go remote control, automobile mounted, articulated crane, grapple saw operators are putting your dead trees on the ground or removing large branches that grew over something important. An all-American Tons of Trees movement. CutandGoTrees.com. That's CutandGoTrees.com.
With individualized design and exterior choices, you can choose a condo that best suits you, rather than having to settle for just another one that 20 or 30 others have. For a list of open models, visit BellmanHomes.com.
Bellman Homes.
I'm Dave Brownsdorf, president of Flawless Flooring. It's true, there's nothing quite like the scent of freshly steam-cleaned, worn carpet other than a wet dog or cat's litter box. However, Flawless's customer satisfaction-driven, unprecedented growth pinched the Milwaukee metro flooring industry, to the point major carpet companies are no more. We've added quality carpeting lines, becoming your true one-stop flooring shop. Flawless Flooring's New Berlin and Delafield showrooms feature virtually unheard of in the flooring industry, upfront accurate pricing, including installation on every display. Know how much carpet, LVP, or modern laminate flooring you need? You can calculate exact pricing as you shop. Want to expand your existing hardwood flooring? Flawless's employee-only craftsmen strip existing flooring, install new hardwood, then finish old and new together for a perfect, looks all original floor. Lock in purchasing power of today's dollars for money you'll earn up to 21 months from now with Flawless's no money down, zero interest financing. Sensory underload, Flawless Flooring. FlawlessFlooringLLC.com. That's FlawlessFlooringLLC.com.
Hey, it's Vicki McKenna. Have you ever snagged a walleye, muskie, bass, and northern all in one day? At Ballard's Black Island on Lake of the Woods, they call that the Grand Slam. And let's be honest, it sounds way cooler than a regular fishing trip. You stay on a remote private island, chase trophy fish like you're in an action movie, and get all your meals and beverages taken care of. It's the works. Fishing trips like this take advanced planning, so get on the stick and go to blackisland.com. That's blackisland.com. And set the hook.
The Milwaukee Admirals host Springfield Thursday at 7, and 3,000 fans will take home a Cupid-inspired bobblehead of Admirals alum Zach LaRue, thanks to Wrangler Jeans. Plus, it's a Summerfest winning weekday, and Admirals victory scores all attendees a free ticket to the Tuesday, February 25th home game. The following week, the Ads host Henderson for games both Friday, February 21st at 7, and Saturday, February 22nd at 6. Friday the 21st, 2,500 fans score a limited edition co-branded jersey featuring both the Admirals and Brewers. Plus, the Admirals Brewers 2-man advantage ticket package is back. For as little as $38, you get an Admirals ticket to the game on the 21st and a ticket to Hockey Night April 3rd at American Family Field, where you'll get an exclusive Brewers Admirals hooded sweatshirt. Then Saturday the 22nd, Toyota, Wrangler, and Coors Light present national country recording artist Mitchell Tenpenny in a post-game concert. Admirals Hockey, Thursday at 7, Friday, February 21st at 7, and Saturday, February 22nd at 6. Admirals Hockey is presented by Landmark Credit Union. For ticket info, special ticket packages, upcoming promotions, or stylish Ads merchandise, visit MilwaukeeAdmirals.com or download the Admirals app. And remember, don't just buy tickets, invest in memories.
When selling your home, you can save the buyer money by not having a redefined realty MLS listing enhanced by EasyHomeBidder.com auction. But do you want to save the buyer of your home money? When buyers bid, sellers win. It's real estate for winners. RedefinedRealty.com.
In a world where every second counts.
Bird flu is spreading nationwide, driving up egg prices.
iHeartRadio has one podcast that keeps you informed. 24/7 News. The latest. Today's latest news every hour in just 4 minutes.
Rex Heuermann's case is being adjourned again.
Be the first to know.
President Trump has sent a loud and clear message.
iHeartRadio's 24/7 News. The latest. Open the free iHeart app and listen now.
Intelligent discourse, irreverent fun, exclusive stories by the dozens, I think, since we have taken over Afternoon Drive here on the Dan O'Donnell Show. Breaking news and much, much more. You get it all 3 hours a day, every day, right here on the Dan O'Donnell Show. It is time now to name today's Unhinged Liberal of the Day.
Trump is Hitler.
We are in pre-Nazi Germany.
All white people are racist.
Does that make me crazy?
Trump is dangerous because he's evil.
America is over.
Now, I'm sure a lot of you have been listening all hour, said, okay, come on, I don't even need to listen to this. The Unhinged Liberal of the Day is obviously going to be the Boomer Lib singers with their brand new Boomer Lib banger, Which Side Are You On? No! There was a group of libs somehow crazier than them. Last night, the City Council of Worcester, Massachusetts, and it is not Worcester Yankees or Midwesterners. It is Worcester. Worcester. Paul spelled it with a R-C-H-E-S. It is Worcester, Massachusetts. They voted to become a sanctuary city for transgender people. And let me tell you, friend, the transgender people who spoke in the open comment portion of the meeting before the vote did not disappoint. Like this 6'4" hulking dude who identifies as a woman.
Which matters more?
Well, that is, I guess that's the wrong one. Okay. This is a woman who is very, very upset about Nazism.
Which matters more? Covering the legal fees of systemic police brutality or protecting the lives of queer people in our community? How many lives have to be lost before you consider fighting back against fascism and corruption?
Aha. Then there was the woman who was dressed like a Harlequin doll who said if you didn't make Worcester a safe place for trans people would make Worcester unsafe for you.
I need the city to protect me because the federal government won't. And if you think you're afraid of Trump, you should see how afraid of Trump I am.
Can you wrap up, please?
Yes, I can. If you say that you're afraid of Trump and that's why you don't want the city to be a safe space for trans people, you better prepare for trans people to make this a very unsafe space.
Now, you might not be too scared of that woman who looked like she was all of about 5'1", but I was definitely scared of this guy.
I'm shaking right now. I don't want to be here.
Up, please.
I'm sorry, am I taking too long pleading for my life? Can you look at me and tell me how many of my friends need to die before you do anything?
Please wrap up.
Look at me!
Okay, we're all done here.
Pathetic.
We're all done. Come on.
Oh, yes, we are all done. And then, of course, the good libs on the Worcester Council caved to these crazies' demands. All of them. Your Unhinged Liberals of the Day.
News that's factual, fair, and balanced. This is continuing coverage on News Talk 1130 WISN, Milwaukee.
Good afternoon. I'm Dave Michaels. A Milwaukee police officer was shot earlier this morning near 27th and Wisconsin after responding to the area after reports of a man firing a gun. Milwaukee Police Chief Jeffrey Norman.
Upon arrival, the officers encountered the armed suspect and gave him orders to drop the gun. The suspect refused, fired shots at the officers. An officer returned gunfire, subsequently striking the suspect. A different officer was struck by the suspect's gunfire during the exchange. The suspect's semi-auto rifle was recovered on the scene. The suspect, an unidentified male, sustained fatal gunshots.
The officer is expected to survive. By an 8-1 vote, the MPS Board of Directors last night has selected former Boston School Superintendent Brenda Casilius to be the new superintendent of Milwaukee Public Schools. MPS Board President Marva Herndon.
We had ideas in place to attack the very issues that we were facing. Most definitely, the academics was primary with her as well.
The 4 o'clock business report brought to you by the Good Feet store. The Dow down today 225 points. The NASDAQ fell 12 while the S&P lost 22. Checking the Holiday Automotive of Fond du Lac Sports Scoreboard, Bucks play their final game before the All-Star break tonight against the Timberwolves in Minnesota. From the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, WISN News Center, I'm Dave Michaels on Wisconsin's most listened to radio station, News Talk 1130 WISN.
From the Hupy and Abraham Weather Center.
Hey, Dan O'Donnell for Mander Collision and Glass, now with 7 locations to serve you across the greater Milwaukee area. Start your repair right now at mandercollision.com. Mander truly is the best decision after a collision.
Steady snow continues today, heavy at times, with 3 to 5 inches possible inland and about 5 to 7 lakeside. Expect low visibility and hazardous travel, especially for the evening commute. Drying out Thursday, then another round of snow Friday. I'm Fox 6 meteorologist Stephanie Barrichello.
This report is sponsored by True Green. True Green. Get a golf course quality lawn that's more affordable than you think. Don't wait. Visit TrueGreen.com today and let the pros handle the work while you enjoy the results. That's TrueGreen.com. True Green, the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour.
If an emergency happened tomorrow, would you truly be prepared? Most Americans aren't. My Patriot Supply, America's most trusted name in emergency preparedness, is offering a special discount on their Mega 3-month emergency food kit. Each kit provides over 250 calories daily for 90 days. These aren't typical survival rations. My Patriot Supply provides delicious meals and extras, including chicken, beef, real meat, fruits, and veggies. Being prepared is a state of mind. Go to mypatriotsupply.com and take advantage of this $250 discount to secure your family's future now. If you order by 3 p.m., your order will ship within the same day, so you'll be prepared in no time. That's mypatriotsupply.com. mypatriotsupply.com.
Put a smile on their face at a family place. Elmbrook Family Dental.
This is Dr. Brandon Brunner.
And Dr. Eric Teibel from Elmbrook Family Dental.
Okay, Eric, there are a lot of things that set us apart. What do you want to start with?
I'd say Invisalign.
Yeah, I mean, is there anyone offering Invisalign for less?
No. In fact, we just saw a patient quoted about $3,000 more for the same treatment. I'm really confident that our Invisalign price is the lowest in southeastern Wisconsin.
And a lot of older patients who wish they have gotten braces back when they were younger, they're choosing Invisalign.
It works. And the lowest Invisalign price, along with the 5-star review quality of care that we're known for, works for our patients.
Elmbrook Family Dental with 2 locations in Brookfield and now in Wauwatosa.
Put a smile on their face at a family place. Elmbrook Family Dental.
Because a great smile goes a long way.
You got to get to Built Right today. Dan O'Donnell here from my longtime friends at Built Right Furniture, Leather, and Mattresses. Built Right's President's Day sale and $1 million clearance sell-off are on now, but the secret is they're celebrating something else, Randy Kay's birthday as well. With great savings on affordable, better quality furniture and mattresses, shop where the O'Donnell family shops 4 generations, 97 years strong, and celebrating 19 years in their Greenfield location. Built Right has the best selection and most experienced team in Wisconsin. Their 45,000 square foot showroom has thousands of items in stock, plus 500 mattresses, including hard to find flippable models. Special and custom orders are faster now. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sunday, as always, they are closed to be with family. Shop President's Day, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. and make sure to wish Randy K, fourth generation, a very happy birthday, and tell them Dan sent you to Built Right at 54th and Layton in Greenfield.
Are you tired of being tired? Go to adventknows.com.
Baseball is back. All Brewers games are on sale Friday. Score a seat to opening day. All new theme nights and games with can't-miss giveaways now. Gear up for a huge season. The crew is back. Get your seats Friday at brewers.com.
For more information about contests on News Talk 1130 WISN, go to newstalk1130.com/rules.
To the Dan O'Donnell Show. We hope to have Britney Kinser, candidate for state superintendent, calling us in just a couple of minutes. In the meantime, if you'd like to get in touch with the Dan O'Donnell Show, 414-799-1130 is our AdventKnows.com talk and text line. You can reach us toll free, 1-800-838-9476. Email me directly, DOD@iHeartMedia.com, at Dan O'Donnell Show on X, Facebook.com/Dan O'Donnell Show as well, where you can watch this show streaming live on X, on Facebook, or on our YouTube channel. Just search for Dan O'Donnell or Dan O'Donnell Show. We are also a podcast. If you would like to listen to entire episodes of the Dan O'Donnell Show completely, or at least mostly commercial free, all you need to do is to go to your iHeartRadio app and sign up. You should get notifications whenever we drop a new podcast, usually about 6:15 to 6:30 when we're done with the broadcast. Just search Dan O'Donnell Show. Follow the podcast both on iHeartRadio and wherever you listen to podcasts. You get incredible insight into the biggest news of the day. And you also get boomer lib bangers like this.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Tell me, which side are you on? Which side are you on?
Too good.
We'll fight against George. We'll fight Elon Musk. No Elon's kept within our walls. We'll fight from dawn to dusk.
Sing it!
Oh, which side are you on? Which side are you on? Tell me. Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
I'm telling you, there are very few truths of life that are as constant as this. There is nothing cringier than a boomer lib.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Tell me. Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Trump's coming for our unions. He wants us all to fail. He wants us to bow to him, but we want him in jail. Oh, which side are you on? Which side are you on? Tell me. Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
If you you want to win $1,000 just like our listener yesterday from West Bend did, all you need to do is to go to our website and enter the keyword grand to enter the contest for this hour. G-R-A-N-D, grand. You've got until 55 past the hour to enter the word grand at either newstalk1130.com or WIBA.com to be entered for your chance to win $1,000 in our cold hard cash contest. State Superintendent candidate Britney Kinser raised a lot of eyebrows when she reported $500,000 raised since she entered the superintendent's race. Now, that doesn't sound like a lot, but when you consider the fact that the incumbent Liberal superintendent, Dr. Jill Underly, only raised about $186,000 for a race that generally doesn't get a whole lot of money thrown at it, especially when control of the Supreme Court is at stake on the same ballot as it is this year, that's an incredibly impressive feat. Joining me now, Superintendent candidate Britney Kinser. Welcome to the show, Ms. Kinser. Are you there, ma'am? All right. Are you there, ma'am? Do we have working phones?
Yes.
Oh,
I'm here.
Thank goodness. Thank heavens. We always get a little nervous, Ms. Kinser, when the weather gets snowy or rainy. Sometimes our phones don't work, but have no fear. I have got the tin can firmly against my ear. I can hear you clearly. So I think a lot of our listeners don't really, frankly, know a whole lot about you. And other than what I've read online, just kind of basic biographical things, I don't either. Why don't you introduce yourself a little bit to our listeners?
Okay. Hi. My name is Britney Kinser. I've been a special ed teacher, a science teacher. I was an award-winning elementary school principal here in Wisconsin. And now I've started a reading initiative called 95 Wisconsin. I'm very passionate about ensuring more kids can read on grade level so they can get a meaningful job, attend college, or master a trade. 95 stands for knowing that if kids receive the right reading instruction according to like the science of reading, 95% of kids can read on grade level, 95%. And right now we only have 3 out of 10. So my initiative, I brought one-on-one tutoring here that is working in another state, and I'm coaching principals on supporting their teachers teaching phonics in K through 2. And I'm working with some schools here in Milwaukee. And to go along with, like, how did I get to, I've been an educator for the past 25 years. How did I get to the point where I'm running for superintendent is that I had been talking to some people at DPI about this initiative that I was doing, and they were interested in possibly helping me spread it throughout Wisconsin. But then I found out in August that the current superintendent has lowered the standards.
Yep.
And so I got really upset about that, and I decided to throw my hat in the ring. So that's a little bit about me.
It's actually an amazing coincidence that you had the 95 project and trying to get 95% of kids at grade level in reading, because we just had national testing standards that showed Wisconsin is actually the worst state in the entire country at educating Black fourth graders. Yeah. And 95% of Black fourth graders in Dr. Jill Underly's Wisconsin are not at grade level in reading. And what she did, as you alluded to, was to unilaterally change Wisconsin's forward exam standards, the reporting basically, so that it would be impossible to compare state test results to prior years or to other states. Well, the national testing revealed that the forward testing was dramatically overstating under these brand new standards the performance of Wisconsin's school children. In other words, Underly was caught basically fudging the numbers. Do you agree with that assessment?
Yes, and that's what made me really upset, is that you can say that these students who are not actually reading proficiently are reading. You can give them that gold star, but that child still knows that they can't read. Their future employer knows that they can't read, and so does, college also. And so I said, this might make adults feel better. Oh, look, we have more kids reading, proficiently. But that's not the reality. It's not what's best for kids. We have to raise the standards, support our teachers so that they can make sure the kids are reading well, not lower the standards. Like, that doesn't make any sense. And so that's why I decided to jump in.
Now, I just, before the top of the hour, alerted the Milwaukee community to the background of the brand new Milwaukee Public Schools superintendent, Brenda Cassellius. Boston Magazine back in 2020 did an absolutely scathing expose about her leadership, her tumultuous first year and a half in Boston that ended in early 2022 when the school gave her a buyout and said, get out of town. Now, it was revealed in that article that she actually applied to be the superintendent in her own home school district in Minneapolis, but was turned down. Milwaukee just hired her last night as state superintendent. Or excuse me, as district superintendent. Now, this comes, we want to hire a brand new state superintendent, but we hope it's Britney Kinser and not Brenda Cassellius. Now, this comes as MPS had to fire its last superintendent because of what I can only assume is gross misallocation of COVID fund resources. Dr. Jill Underly did not tell the public that MPS was not reporting what it was doing with the federal COVID money it was getting until after voters had already gotten to the polls and approved a $250 million referendum. If you're elected as state superintendent, what would you do differently to promote accountability to the state's largest and biggest failure of a school district?
So right away, I would, for all school districts, we would have a dashboard that's easy to read on our DPI website on making sure that it's transparent. Are our school districts, including MPS, completing their audits on time? And you'll be able to see it right there, yes or no, right? And if not, then we need to have a plan to make sure that the schools are turning it in on time. Because I know that was reported there were other school districts that aren't turning their audits in on time. And as a former charter leader, we have to turn in our audits every year. Like it's just a non-negotiable. You need to be financially responsible. So I would make sure that is transparent for everyone to see. So the board has that information, the community has that information, and not just about finances, about how our students are doing too. And then making sure we are very clear that schools are using research and evidence-based curriculum. I've also talked about bringing an office here to Milwaukee so DPI can be a resource to MPS and making sure we are supporting our schools with the best practices, but then also having the information that is timely and transparent for the board and community to know how the schools are doing. We cannot continue to allow this to happen. Like you said, 95% of Black children aren't proficient. That is a 5-alarm fire. We cannot continue to allow that to happen. And we know that any kid, as long as they get the instruction they need before first grade, like during the first grade, they can read proficiently. We can't wait till third grade. That too needs to stop. We need to make all these, with the new Act 20, we're doing something called Ames web testing. We have all that information. We need to allow that to be transparent so everyone knows and parents know too how kids are doing and making sure that we're doing interventions so that kids can learn how to read.
Now, let me ask you this. Do you think that you obviously are a big proponent of phonics, which is, I think, how all of us were taught to read growing up? Do you believe that is the answer, like getting one consistent model based on what has worked for, pretty much since the dawn of formal schooling, the idea of just teaching the basics of language and then sticking with it? Because it seems to me that that one of the big issues has been every couple of years in this state, we just sort of totally overhaul the way reading and writing is taught.
No, yeah, so we need to go back to the science of reading. If you look at Louisiana, their test scores for the nation's report card, they beat everyone. And
wait, Louisiana?
Louisiana.
This is destroying the left's stereotypes about Southern education here.
And they also have school choice. They have a portfolio of options for families. And then Mississippi also. And so they also focused on the science of reading, phonics in the early grades, made sure the teachers had the training and coaching, and then very transparent about student results. So not waiting till third grade, but consistently showing the results, making sure that there were interventions, like, Louisiana is now making sure there's one-on-one tutoring for the students, things that we know work. We know there are certain things that work, and the things I want to do with DPI is like what our nation's best states are doing. We can do that here in Wisconsin.
What, as superintendent, would be your policy and attitude towards school choice? As you obviously know, this was the birthplace of it. There has been a movement to get school choice expanded statewide. There is some optimism. There could be a nationwide expansion under President Trump. What would a Kinser administration look like at DPI with respect to school choice?
Yeah, so, my main platform is making sure all kids are reading, but under that is making sure that parents have options, and I would be supportive of that. As I travel throughout the state, I've been all the way up, close to Rhinelander. I was in Antigo. I was over in Eau Claire last weekend. So many families are saying that they need, that they're looking for a different option for their children. And so I would be open to a portfolio of options for our children. I am the only school choice candidate. I would be, friendly to that. Because I know that, not all schools fit the needs of all children right now. Overwhelmingly, parents are choosing their traditional public schools. Then with open enrollment, that's the number one school choice option right now is open enrollment.
Right.
Then we have our private schools where families get a scholarship that we call a voucher. There's public charter schools and homeschooling. So I want there to be a portfolio of options for families, but ensuring that all the kids are learning how to read in all of those options, making sure we have best practices available for all the schools, and we're transparent about the results. So
Britney
I would
Kinser.
be very friendly towards.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there. I do apologize. I was so excited hearing you talk about school choice. I want to get people over to your website. I want them getting to donate to your campaign. And most importantly, as days like today remind us to get out there and vote early. Early voting is underway for the primary, which is this Tuesday, February 18th. You are running not just against Dr. Underly, but also another Lib candidate by the name of Jeff Wright. We need to ensure that Britney Kinser is one of the two candidates that advances to the April 1st election. So get out there right now. Well, maybe not right now. I've been telling people to get off the roads, but you never know. We could have a snowstorm like this. We're going to have another one on Saturday. Apparently, we might have another one on Tuesday. When the roads get cleared sometime tomorrow, I'm going to get out there and early vote. I've been sort of putting it off. I've had a lot of stuff to do, but I'm going to get out there and vote for you.
Thank you.
Where can other people get more information about you? Where can they donate to your campaign? What is your website? What's the best way to get in touch with you?
Yeah, it's kinserforwikids.com. kinserforwikids.com. And, make sure you can vote early, which would be great, just in case there's a snowstorm. But voting is on the primary is February 18th. Every vote matters. This is usually a very low turnout. Race because it's in February. And again, yes, I'm the only school choice candidate. And I want to restore our high standards and get back to focusing on the basics of teaching reading, writing, and math.
I'll tell you, Ms. Kinser, I'll be totally honest with you. I did not know a whole lot about your background or what you stood for, but this interview has really made me into a fan of yours. And
thank you so much.
I love your what you're doing with. I read quite a bit actually earlier today about your background and the work that you've done in trying to get kids and starting even before kindergarten to try to get them to learn, as you put it, the science of reading. I really do believe that you are doing incredible work, and I really do support you a great deal. And we need someone like you. In fact, we need you as state superintendent. So best of luck to you. That is KINSER for WIKids.com. Did I get that one right?
You got it right.
Okay, I didn't have it up.
So much.
I've got it on some tab on my computer here, and I didn't have it in front of me. And if I would have misspelled that with the next state superintendent on my radio show, I know nobody would let me forget about that. So I'm glad I spelled that right. Ms. Kinser, we'd love to have you back on after the primary. I am confident you're going to get through, okay?
All right. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Well, the pleasure is absolutely all mine. There's a lot of things I could get to next. You want me to absolutely let the mayor of Milwaukee have it for how he responded to the near murder of a Milwaukee police officer this afternoon? You better believe I'm gonna do that next. You're listening to The Dan O'Donnell Show.
From the Lynch family of dealerships Total Traffic Center.
All lanes of 94 westbound shut down west of Sunny Slope because of a vehicle fire. 43 southbound at the Marquette interchange. You got a crash that blocks the right lane. I'm Kevin Henry, and that's your latest Total Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Splash. See safely.
Splash, splash, splash. Clear your way this winter with Splash Premium Windshield Washer Fluid. It melts frost and ice like that.
See safely on the road when you apply a little splash.
Find Splash at a retailer near you.
I'm Total Health's Jay Johnson, the Falls and New Berlin. Remember looking forward to playing with your kids or grandkids and having the energy to? At Total Health, we hear it all the time. People say I'm too tired and worn out to be the person my spouse married or parent or grandparent my family deserves. Sound familiar? Total Health naturopaths find root causes of fatigue and lethargy, then treat you, the whole person, restoring energy and overall wellness. It could be dietary or thyroid function, or maybe you just need to drop some weight. Big Medicine's weight loss injection causing stomach, gallbladder, intestinal, and vascular problems works for them. Sick people are profitable. If excess weight is a contributing factor to you not feeling your best, Total Health naturopaths will never judge you. We'll be honest, providing the tools and motivation to lose weight. Then we'll be with you throughout your journey to feeling happy, healthier, energetic, and well. Be that person your family deserves. It's not theory. Relativity equals expertise plus execution. TotalHealthInc.com. That's TotalHealthInc.com.
Baseball is back. All Brewers games are on sale Friday. Score a seat to opening day. All new theme nights and games with can't-miss giveaways now. Gear up for a huge season. The crew is back. Get your seats Friday at Brewers.com.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Chief Anti-Heartbreak Officer Brian Wickert. While national headlines talk about the inventory of homes for sale being a lot higher this year, that's still not the case in most of Wisconsin. The good news is that now, even in winter, AccuNet's experienced loan consultants are already helping many of our pre-approved home shoppers become homeowners and avoid the heartbreak of losing in a multi-offer situation. Sure, you can go with a flimsy, unimaginative bank pre-approval, or you can present your offer with an AccuNet rock-solid, fully verified, and guaranteed pre-approval that also might come with the phrase that really makes sellers happy: no appraisal required. When an appraisal is needed, we can also show you in dollars and cents what it means to willingly pay a certain dollar amount over the appraised value if that's what's needed to win, which is usually a lot less scary than people imagine. Reduce your risk of home shopper heartbreak by getting started with your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval at AccuNet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Well, that's why you have to check out our website. We're pretty proud of our before and after photos because they show off just how good we really are. I can confidently say that whatever you bring us, we're going to use every bit of magic we have to turn it into a one-of-a-kind work of art. So if you're looking for the finest in furniture finishing and heirloom restoration, by golly, it's Mullally. Mullally Furniture Finishing and Repair. Serving everywhere. Quality counts. MULLALY finishing.com. If it's worth restoring, we're going to tell you. If it's not worth the cost of restoring, then we're going to give you an honest answer. You don't stay in the furniture finishing business for nearly 50 years unless you're honest and talented. Luckily, we're both, and that means all of your expectations will be met. So if you want only the finest in furniture finishing and heirloom restoration, by golly, it's Mullally. Mullally Furniture Finishing and Repair. We're no job's too small. Serving everywhere. Quality counts.
Be sure to listen to the NX Wealth Management Investment Show Saturday mornings at 11 and Sunday afternoons at 1 on News Talk 1130 WISN. NX provides its expertise to arm listeners with the knowledge and tools to invest wisely. NX Wealth Management. Know the difference.
For more information about contests on News Talk 1130 WISN, go to newstalk1130.com/rules. All programs on News Talk 1130 WISN are broadcast through the NX Wealth Management Studios. NX Wealth Management. Know the difference.
The most accurate, complete news about Milwaukee.
Every hour, every day. This is News Talk 1130 WISN.
If you're a fan of our Wisconsin sports teams, here's the perfect podcast for you. The Larrivee and LePage podcast with two Hall of Fame broadcasters. Wayne Larrivee, the voice of the Green Bay Packers, and Matt LePage, the voice of Wisconsin Badgers football and men's basketball. Together, bringing you insights and guests, talking Packers, Badgers, Brewers, Bucks, and more. Listen to the Larrivee and LePage podcast. Available anytime on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you listen to podcasts. Presented by UW Credit Union. Here for every you.
A Milwaukee police officer remains in Frederick Hospital. I can report he is expected to survive. His injuries are not considered life-threatening. He was shot multiple times this afternoon near 27th and Wisconsin by a suspect who is brandishing some sort of long gun, believed to be an AK-47 or something like that. When officers were called to the scene, the suspect opened fire on them, striking one officer multiple times in the leg, in the abdomen, or possibly the chest. It is believed that the officer's body armor or bulletproof vest stopped at least one of the shots, but he was taken by ambulance to Frederick Hospital, where he underwent emergency surgery and was initially reported to have been possibly not breathing. That's how serious this was when the initial dispatch calls and radio calls were going out. Now, the other officers who responded with the injured officer returned fire and killed the suspect. The suspect is still not identified because, at least as of a press conference about 2 hours ago, he wasn't carrying any sort of ID, and it's not clear who this guy is, why he was there, what he was doing brandishing this rifle. We actually have a picture of this. The suspect from what I believe to be a Ring doorbell camera in the neighborhood near 27th and Wisconsin. You can actually see him holding up the gun in the air. Now, at this press conference, of course, the police chief, Jeffrey Norman, gave an update about what happened. The mayor of Milwaukee came out and spoke, and he said all the right things. He said, our thoughts are with this officer and his family and the entire Milwaukee Police Department. But then at 3:19 p.m., the official at Mayor MKE Twitter, or if you will, X account, posted this, along with the 39-second video of the mayor speaking. Quote, my thoughts are with the at Milwaukee police officer shot in the line of duty today. The entire incident, including the death of the suspect, is a tragedy. I am led to believe that the mayor got immense pushback, or whomever it was from the social media team, whether it was his spokesman, whether it was someone else from the comms team, whoever it was that posted that, deleted it. A listener was able to catch a screenshot, perhaps sensing that it was going to be deleted, correctly surmising that it was going to be deleted because it is so asinine and such a window into, I'm not even going to say the mindset of this mayor, but the soul of this mayor. Someone who is openly brandishing an AK-47 in a snowstorm for God knows what reason on Wisconsin Avenue, one of the busiest streets in the entire state, and then opens fire as soon as police arrive. This is somebody who the mayor of Milwaukee, on the official communications channel of the mayor's office on X, says is a tragedy. His death is a tragedy. What does that imply? That implies that somehow the officers were reckless. Somehow the officers shouldn't have returned fire. What should they have just taken a couple of bullets too? Should we have sent 3 ambulances on the worst driving day of the entire season out there? Then would it not have been a tragedy because this guy would still be alive and you might have 3 officers dead? I'm struggling to understand what exactly he means by a tragedy. No, the suspect's death was a rational and expected outcome and consequence of shooting a freaking weapon of war, to borrow a common phrase that the left uses for these big, scary guns, at police officers. I am so beyond tired of left-wing politicians making excuse after excuse after excuse for the worst behavior that society can possibly muster. And we get it over and over and over again. And we just had a couple of weeks ago the mayor puffing his chest and crowing about how the murder rate was so dramatically down on his watch. We're still up exponentially from where we were in 2019. It's a different world on the streets of Milwaukee today than it was before the George Floyd era of 2020 to now. Oh, yes, we're down compared to the 4 straight all-time record years of homicides in the city of Milwaukee, 2020 through 2023, all 4 years, all-time records. Every single year, deadlier than the last. And we're fine. We're crowing about the fact that, oh, hey, 2024 was a little bit less than the most recent all-time record we set. And then when one of the people tasked to go into that war zone is shot in the line of duty by some piece of garbage who just, was drunk or high or just wanted to shoot off his gun or was pissed off at some other thug lowlife. And the officers show up to an armed suspect knowing full well that they are outgunned. I'm taking a wild guess they probably had their sidearms. Maybe, I don't know. This wasn't a SWAT or anything like that. These are just beat cops who are coming in on a snowy day with their sidearms. They've got to face a guy with an AK-47. And it's a tragedy that the guy with the AK-47 is dead. This coming from the same mayor who is constantly complaining about the fact, oh, it's all the guns on the streets, all the guns on the streets. We would have such a great city if it wasn't for all the guns. This is the reason you have such a violent city, because people are so unafraid of any sort of consequence. In fact, I've got a story coming up in the 5 o'clock hour about a prominent Milwaukeean who, but for his long rap sheet, probably would have been our unsung hero of the day, getting felon in possession charges just dropped, just for whatever reason. We don't feel like prosecuting that. Right back out on the streets. How much you want to wager that when this guy is finally identified, the deceased perp, the tragic victim here, according to the mayor of Milwaukee, when he's identified, he's out on bail, he's been given break after break after break, He's a little bit better of a shot, or maybe it's not snowing and he can see a little bit better. There is a dead police officer right now in the city of Milwaukee. And the guy who shot him, his death is a tragedy. The entire event, including the death of the officer, including the death of the suspect, is a tragedy? I'd say that's pathetic, but it's beyond that. I'd say that's soulless, but it's almost beyond that too. The only benefit of the doubt I'm going to give the city of Milwaukee's idiot mayor is that there's very little chance he actually wrote that tweet himself. Whoever it is that did, honest to goodness, should lose their job over that. It is that despicable and disgusting. And what it reveals is, quite honestly, a disdain for the law enforcement officers who risk their lives like these three brave officers did, that borders on psychotic hatred. And someone like that has no business speaking for the mayor of Milwaukee. I'm Dan O'Donnell. It's conservative thought, not just talk, and it's coming right back.
Now, here's traffic from Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank. Call the Tri-City Total Traffic Tip Line at 414-944-5111.
Car fire cleanup continues 94 westbound after Sunny Slope. Now just blocking 2 right lanes, had been completely shut down. 4194 northbound at 27th. You got 3 right lanes blocked with an accident. I'm Kevin Henry, and that's your latest total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Splash. See safely.
Splash, splash, splash. Clear your way this winter with Splash Premium Windshield Washer Fluid. It melts frost and ice like that.
See safely on the road when you apply a little splash.
Find Splash at a retailer near you.
I'm Mark Felling. My podcast will give me the freedom to talk about anything and everything. Our world needs truth-telling more than ever. The Mark Belling Podcast begins May 1st. My best is yet to come.
The Mark Belling Podcast is presented by Uline Shipping and Industrial Supplies. Ship same day for fast delivery. Visit uline.com. The Mark Belling Podcast is also supported by Annex Wealth Management. The Mark Belling Podcast starts May 1st at iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm Dan Voss from Cut and Go. Ugly and depressing and trees killed off by emerald ash, oak wilt, and Dutch elm disease are dangerous for friends and loved ones, even a potential liability. Slowly rotting, left-standing hardwood trees can weigh tens of thousands of pounds. Even seemingly smaller branches can weigh tens, even hundreds of pounds. With Cut and Go, there is no reason to risk injury or property damage. Live trees in precarious placement for an arborist to remove over homes, garages, commercial buildings, luxury landscapes are easily and safely laid on the ground by Cut and Go's NCCER crane-operated certified remote control automobile mounted articulating crane grapple saw operators. You can save big money and stock up on firewood by having Cut and Go put your trees on the ground for you to clean up or have a bonfire or split firewood, or we can take it all with us when we leave. A Tons of Trees movement. Cut and Go trees.com. That's CUTNGO trees.com. Once again, that's cutandgotrees.com.
Bob built a brand over the same 20 years iNet has. I bought multiple properties over those years. Bob gets real estate like I never will.
In real estate, every brokerage does the same thing. MLS. Adding auction bidding to MLS, I knew if iNet branded it, told our story, home sellers would understand and accept this real estate revolutionizing platform.
You can be the best in your industry like Redefined Realty is. Even revolutionize your industry like Redefined Realty has with auction. Yet, it's your story that sells.
You can't tell your story as well as iNet Creative Genius will tell your story.
Real Estate for Winners is exactly what Redefined Realty and auction has always been.
Steven knocked our brand and marketing out of the park.
Selling a home? If you don't use Redefine's MLS and auction platform, you'll leave closing with less money than you would have. Tragic and that simple.
Websites, branding, design, video, and radio. iNet is improving marketing for winners.
INetJustWeb.com.
CreativeGeniusMarketing.com.
Real Estate for Winners.
redefinedrealty.com.
We're the Libby family.
At Do-It-Yourself Bathroom Center near State Fair on 62nd and Greenfield.
Bathrooms and kitchens are our specialty.
We use real wood cabinets and quartz tops to make beautiful rooms you will love for many, many years.
And our experts really know their stuff.
Remember our slogan,
I did it myself at Do-It-Yourself.
Jay Weber here. If you're someone who's experiencing shoulder, spine, hip, knee, or musculoskeletal pain and a total joint replacement might be in your future, think Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Find them at orthowisconsin.com. At Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, their physicians are committed to providing the highest quality of joint care and specialize in same-day total joint replacements at their own ambulatory surgery center in Milwaukee. You can find them at orthowisconsin.com. orthowisconsin.com. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference.
An auction to sell your house? And it includes a 2.99% full-service MLS listing? Come on. Put simply, the absolute best way to sell your home is a Redefined Realty MLS listing enhanced by the EasyHomeBidder.com auction bidding platform. You get max profits and minimal contingencies. Buyers and sellers both love winning at auction. Traditional real estate agents put houses on MLS, then talk sellers into accepting offers. It's always been done that way. While buyers can still make a traditional offer, auctions powered by EasyHomeBidder.com allow every interested party to compete for your home through MLS and at auction on your terms. Sellers never lose a penny again. Dorothy's Ruby Slippers would not have sold for $28 million without an auction. Similarly, the maximum price of your home will only be achieved at auction. Traditional real estate agents sell ordinary MLS services. Redefines mentors of winning, enhance the home selling process combining auction and MLS. RedefinedRealty.com. Buyers win, sellers win. Real estate's future is now. Real estate for winners. RedefinedRealty.com.
During tax season, your personal info travels to a lot of places you can't control. Between payroll, your home office, your tax preparer, and the IRS, if your W-2 gets exposed, that's just the ticket for identity thieves. That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed or your money back. Don't let identity thieves take you for a ride. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code CLAY. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
I'm Arturo Castro, and I've been lucky enough to do stuff like Broad City, Narcos, Roadhouse, but now I'm coming out with my own podcast. Get ready for Greatest Escapes, a new comedy podcast about the wildest true escape stories in history. Each week, I'll be sitting down with some of the most hilarious actors and writers and comedians, people like Ed Helms, Diane Guerrero, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
I love storytelling, and I love you.
Listen to Greatest Escapes on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Greatest Escapes to start listening.
Someone from Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson's office is listening to the Dan O'Donnell Show. Exactly 2 minutes ago, the official @MayorMKEX account just posted the exact same message he deleted, save for the reference to the death of the guy who very nearly killed a Milwaukee police officer this afternoon being a tragedy. He posted the same video that he posted in the original tweet, but it said simply, "My thoughts and prayers are with the Milwaukee police officer shot in the line of duty today." Now, in the initial post, interestingly enough, he did not say prayers. This is how I can tell someone from the mayor's office was listening to the Dan O'Donnell Show. Do you think those lefty hacks wanted to post prayers? Do you think anyone from the mayor's office actually said a prayer for this officer? Of course not. They think that we obsess over things like this. Oh, he didn't say prayers. Lefties, we know you're godless heathens and don't actually want to pray for or do actually pray for anybody. We expect you not to say thoughts and prayers anymore. We've had to hear you say thoughts and prayers are useless. Bleep your thoughts and prayers. We need gun control. The original tweet that the mayor posted at exactly 3:19 this afternoon, and I will remind him and everyone else in the state of Wisconsin or anywhere else in the country, my eyes and ears are everywhere. My listeners will let me know everything you are doing. This is also a perfect reminder. If you see something like this egregious tweet, email me dod@iheartmedia.com. An eagle-eyed listener spotted this and was able to get a screen cap before the tweet was deleted. The original one said, "My thoughts are with the Milwaukee police officer shot in the line of duty today. The entire incident, including the death of the suspect, is a tragedy." I reported on that and almost burst a blood vessel in my eye. I was so angry about this. After I did the last segment on this, he changed the tweet to, "My thoughts and prayers are with the Milwaukee police officer shot in the line of duty today." Now, I will repeat my offer to the rest of the media in Wisconsin, particularly you folks in Milwaukee, Journal Sentinel, Wisconsin Public Radio, TV stations, even our alleged competitors down the dial at WTMJ. I actually love them all very much. I worked with most of them. It's where I started my radio career. You can cover this story free of charge. You do not need to credit me at all. The mayor calling the death of a guy who very nearly killed one of his own officers a tragedy. Anyone want to follow up on this? The mayor is clearly content to not say a word about it. He tried to cover his tracks by putting out an amended tweet only after I called them out on it. Anyone else going to make this into a bigger deal? Because I think it sure as hell is a real big deal that the mayor of one of this country's major cities, one of this country's most violent cities, called the death of a low-life scumbag thug who came within literal inches of murdering one of his own police officers. That's a tragedy? Really? That's a tragedy. No, a real tragedy is this city actually electing Mayor Cavalier Johnson twice.
The Dan O'Donnell Show.
We'll be right back.
From the Lynch family of dealerships Total Traffic Center.
Expect delays out there everywhere because of the weather. Also some crashes. 4145 northbound at Burleigh. That one blocking the left lane. 9441 northbound after 7 Mile. Crash blocks 3 right lanes. I'm Kevin Henry. That's your latest Total Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Splash. See safely.
Splash, splash, splash. Clear your way this winter with Splash Premium Windshield Washer Fluid. It melts frost and ice like that.
See safely on the road when you apply a little splash.
Find Splash at a retailer near you.
Panic strikes as you realize on Wednesday that Thursday is your anniversary. The reservations being secured.
We'll see you at 8.
The gift being purchased. Yeah, you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with early pay up to 2 days early on direct deposits. So even though they call you Last Minute Lisa, we'll make your last minute scrambling a bit easier. You've got this with early pay from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Nothing says I love you this Valentine's Day more than a stop at your local Sendix store. That's because Sendix has everything you need to surprise your sweetheart. Make a quick stop for roses or a beautiful bouquet of flowers, or have a talented designer custom design an arrangement that they'll love. You'll also find a full selection of specialty gifts like candles, clothing, and home decor. And don't forget the wine and chocolate-covered strawberries. Sendix Food Markets, your trusted local grocer.
Are you on track to achieve your retirement plans? Hi, I'm Jeff Kowal of Kowal Investment Group. We've recently joined Creative Planning, a national registered investment advisor. This move to Creative expands our ability to provide comprehensive wealth management, investment advisory, and retirement planning services. Now is the time to put your lifetime of hard work into action. For over 37 years, we've helped clients toward making their retirement dreams become a reality, and we'd like to help you too. And the best part, your plan will be completely tailored to you. Our in-house team of specialists will take the time to learn about you and your family, review your current situation, and find out what your goals are. Then we'll design a plan to help you get there. To get started, request your free meeting today with one of our fiduciary advisors by visiting creativeplanning.com. Whether you have met with us in the past or this will be your first meeting with us, we're excited to introduce Kowal Investment Group to you as Creative Planning. Visit creativeplanning.com today.
I'm defense attorney Tom Grieve. Never drive drunk. If you do, don't believe police officers who tell you it's just a ticket and a 6-month suspension. Pay it and put this behind you. You'll likely have to install an ignition interlock device to blow into before starting your car. Protects the public and shames you with your friends and family. Your license will be revoked. You can go to jail for 1 year if caught driving revoked. Even if you swear you did never drive revoked, most people do. With a to and from work permit, one snowstorm, long meeting, or traffic jam, and you're driving revoked. An officer runs your plate while driving, and you're in even more serious trouble. You'll participate in alcohol and drug assessments, a driver's safety plan, and alcohol classes. You could even lose your job. Prosecutors will tenaciously prosecute you without empathy, regardless of your clean driving record. Your first DUI conviction never disappears from your record. Just a ticket and 6-month suspension, and a Scarlet A for life. Charged with an OWI, your best chance is to call my team of award-winning former state prosecutors. You are only guilty if you are convicted. GrieveLaw.com.
Josh from Infinity here. The roofing and exterior modeling industry is notorious for painful, surprise hidden costs.
MJ here. We built Infinity with integrity, installing roof, siding, windows, and peace of mind.
Infinity's custom app eliminates costly, unpleasant roofing and exterior modeling upcharges, showing in absolute transparency every detail of your project.
We pay less, you pay less.
Infinity provides multiple budget options, including financing immediately.
Warranted, guaranteed quality, installing peace of mind. InfinityRoofing.com.
Get ready for our 2025 iHeart Podcast Awards.
March 10th, we'll honor the very best in podcasting from the past year and celebrate the most innovative talent and creators in the industry. And you'll help decide who wins Podcast of the Year.
Let's go!
Vote now at iHeartPodcastAwards.com.
Lenovo is proud to be a part of the iHeart Podcast Awards at South by Southwest, where creativity and innovation collide. With the new Legion Go S, the first licensed handheld powered by SteamOS, your game goes anywhere. Visit Lenovo.com/Legion Go. Empowering creators everywhere.
There's only one store that gives you every possible choice in diamonds.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Marketing a modern business means finding and serving your customers 24/7 wherever they are. WISN broadcasts are a powerful platform, but there's so much more. WISN's online digital tools are completely customizable, so you can reach your ideal customer through the iHeart app or by using software that actually finds your customers at a specific location or event. These tools are precise, efficient, measurable marketing weapons that you need to use. Combine the power and cloud of WISN's broadcast and digital platforms right now. Go to newstalk1130.com, keyword digital.
I have obtained exclusively the first picture of the suspect who shot and badly injured a Milwaukee police officer this afternoon. He was armed with what appears to be a very high-powered rifle. Just wandering the streets near 27th and Wisconsin, you can see his face very clearly. Anyone who can identify him, as far as I know, he is still unidentified. He was not carrying any sort of ID. The fact that he was just sort of wandering around brandishing this rifle. I've got this posted at Dan O'Donnell Show on X. He is wearing a sweatshirt that says "Grateful for what I can't quite read the rest. I'm not sure if this was a shirt that he bought or one that he made himself. It looks like it was one that he just kind of wrote on himself. I don't know if this was a suicide by cop or something like that. It's entirely possible. The investigation is still in its very early stages. However, this is the guy who Milwaukee Mayor Milwaukee Mayor Tom Barrett said his death, or Tom Barrett, my God, where the hell am I? Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson said was a tragedy. We have got that posted as well. The mayor of Milwaukee tweeted and then deleted a post saying that this scumbag's death was a tragedy. We are also following breaking news per Matt Smith of Channel 12 in Milwaukee. Wisconsin Supreme Court Justice Janet Protasewicz has announced that she will not recuse herself from the Act 10 case, despite repeatedly prejudging said case on the campaign trail. And anyone who thought for even a second that she was ever going to recuse herself after alleged conservative Justice Brian Hagedorn did the right thing and did so. He helped write parts of Act 10. Obviously, he wouldn't be able to. He was Governor Walker's legal counsel. He wouldn't be able to, under the Code of Judicial Conduct, sit on that case. It was a no-brainer. It was a slam dunk. He had to recuse himself. Protasewicz probably should have. Definitely should have, in fact, as we will discuss after the top of the hour news. No time today, unfortunately, for the unsung hero of the day, which is probably good, because the guy I was going to pick turns out is a domestic abuser. We'll get to that story next as well.
News that's factual, fair, and balanced. This is continuing coverage on News Talk 1130 WISN, Milwaukee.
Good afternoon, I'm Dave Michaels. The biggest snowstorm of the season is here. Fox 6 meteorologist Stephanie Baricello.
The heaviest still looks to be across those southern communities. Really thinking we're starting to see some lake influence. So parts of southern Racine, Kenosha County over to about Lake Geneva, likely seeing some heavier snow at the moment. And that's the way the afternoon and evening will play out.
Republican lawmakers want Wisconsin schools to more strictly enforce cell phone usage. State Rep Joel Kitchens from Sturgeon Bay says that phones in the classroom are disruptive.
Districts are free to restrict phone use beyond what's required in the bill. It is hoped that many of them will elect to ban them during lunchtime or for the entire school day.
And the U.S. Senate today did confirm Tulsi Gabbard to be the next director of national intelligence.
Yeas are 52, nays are 48. Nomination is confirmed.
Checking the Holiday Automotive of Fond du Lac sports scoreboard, Giannis will miss his 7th straight game when the Bucks take on the Timberwolves tonight in Minnesota. From the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, WISN News Center, I'm Dave Michaels on Wisconsin's most listened to radio station, News Talk 1130 WISN.
Here's the latest forecast presented by AdventKnows.com from the Fox 6 weather experts.
A winter storm warning continues until 3 o'clock in the morning. More snow tonight, ending after midnight. Temperatures dropping into the teens. Partly cloudy and windy on Thursday with a high of 20. Snow returns Friday night. I'm Fox 6 Chief Meteorologist Tom Walks.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
When Flawless Flooring installs luxury vinyl plank, hardwood, modern laminate, or carpeting, I personally guarantee your satisfaction with every step from shopping through installation. I'm Flawless Flooring's president, Dave Brownsdorf, and I approve this message. Sensory underload, Flawless Flooring. FlawlessFlooringLLC.com.
In a recent study, over 1/3 of millionaires predicted their ability to feel financially secure in retirement is going to take a miracle. At Annex Wealth Management, we believe a plan, not a miracle, will help increase your retirement confidence. Our team of experts gets to work using leading-edge technology to build comprehensive plans covering investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning. And Annex doesn't have products to push with hidden fees or commissions. There's too much of that already. Annex is a fee-only fiduciary. More planning, fewer miracles. Know the difference. AnnexWealth.com.
I'm Kelly Lammert, owner of Clean Living Environments.
I'm Creative Genius. Since building 2 rooms farthest from the furnace barely had air coming from registers, and 18 years of crud accumulated in ducts.
Our superior agitation, high-powered suction cleaning systems got more ladybugs, dust, even original construction debris out of Steve's ducts than suction alone could.
Clean Living Environments AeroSeal duct sealing got more wasted energy off our energy bill as natural gas costs skyrocket.
Duct specialists block the vents and pressurized ducts, exposing leakage equivalent to a 90-square-inch hole. After sealing, leakage is reduced to a 3-inch hole, a 94% reduction.
Our home has noticeably less dust. Air isn't getting sucked in through the basement and attic exposed duct pipe. Most incredibly, we get more air to rooms farthest from the furnace. Way more. See a video of this job at cleanlivingenvironments.com.
I personally guarantee the best price.
Yep.
Get more out of your ducts. cleanlivingenvironments.com. That's cleanlivingenvironments.com.
For safe, purified water right from your faucet, the solution is crystal clear.
Any project, big or small, when it comes to water, one call does it all. S&K, pump and plumbing.
Get started with your no-hassle refi checkup by clicking on the blue button at AccuNet.com.
The new episode of the Larrivee and LePay podcast is available to listen to right now. Wayne and Matt's guest is Rick Goslin, longtime writer covering the NFL. Remember, every episode of the Larrivee and LePay podcast is available anytime on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Presented by UW Credit Union. Here for every you.
All programs on News Talk 1130 WISN are broadcast through the NX Wealth Management Studios. NX Wealth Management. Know the difference.
WISN.
Big taxers, big spenders, political cronies, global warming alarmists, charlatans, liars, scam artists, and feeders at the public trough. The threats to your happiness are many, but that's where we can help. News Talk 1130 WISN. Our truth shall keep you free.
Kowal Investment Group, now Creative Planning, is a registered investment advisor. Now for your business report from Creative Planning. For informational purposes only, past performance is not indicative of future results.
Good afternoon. This is Tom Krieger with your afternoon business report. Major averages were mostly lower today as stocks wavered amid a hotter than expected inflation report. The Consumer Price Index showed headline consumer inflation rose 0.5% in January and 3% year over year. Investors are worried that this report makes it less likely that the Fed will resume rate cuts anytime soon. Meanwhile, shares of CVS rose 16%, notching their best day in over 25 years as the health solutions company posted fourth quarter earnings and revenue that beat Wall Street's expectations. CVS has seen year-to-date gains of more than 40%. At the close, the Dow is down 225, S&P 500 down 16, and the NASDAQ up 6. From the Kowal Investment Group, now Creative Planning, I'm Tom Krieger.
Just into us a second or two before the top of the hour. Janet Protasewicz, the left-wing justice who repeatedly, and I mean repeatedly, blasted Act 10 on the campaign trail when she was running for justice in 2023. She was very vocally opposed to the legislation, has refused to recuse herself from the Act 10 case, which has not yet officially been taken up by the Supreme Court. There was some confusion. The court did hear oral arguments today in a separate Act 10 related case. That is not the one that a Dane County Circuit Court judge struck down Act 10 in back in December. This is a separate case that has been making its way up through the Wisconsin court system for some time. This is not one that's going to result in the end of Act 10. The case that both Brian Hagedorn, alleged conservative justice who already recused himself from, and the case that Janet just a couple of minutes ago, per WISN 12 reporter and the host of Up Front, Matt Smith, he was the one to break this story, at least as far as I know. It's the first place I saw it. Was on his X account. Protasewicz says she will not recuse herself. Now, why is this so important? It means that Act 10 is quite literally on the ballot in the Wisconsin Supreme Court election. Let's say that the state Supreme Court's liberal majority takes a direct appeal of this case, which they are almost certain to, and fast-tracks it. That means the retiring Justice Ann Walsh Bradley would be able to sit on this case. Without Brian Hagedorn, the alleged conservative, there would only be two actual conservative justices, the Chief Justice Annette Ziegler and the very conservative Rebecca Bradley. They would be outvoted 4-2. Even if Protasewicz recused herself, liberals would be able to carry the day. It would be 3-2. Here's how the calculation changes, though, if Brad Schimmel wins a seat on the state Supreme Court. If the conservative minority and if Chief Justice Ziegler can keep the court's liberal majority from fast-tracking this case, and I believe there are a few procedural moves that she could use to do so, and Schimmel wins, they would not have a fourth lefty vote. There would be three conservatives, three actual conservatives on the court, Ziegler, Bradley, and Brad Schimmel, against just three liberals, Protasewicz, Rebecca Dallett, and Jill Karofsky. That case, in other words, would be stalemated. I have no idea what that means. If it's a 3-3 tie, does it go back to the trial judge? Does the trial judge's order stand? We typically don't get these things in the United States Supreme Court, and I can't remember a high-profile case in the Supreme Court where there was a deadlock. Could you get Hagedorn to change his mind, to keep Act 10 in place? After all, if Janet Protasewicz doesn't care about the code of judicial conduct, because she clearly prejudiced herself multiple times. I mean, folks, she didn't remove herself from the case of redistricting the state legislative maps. She literally said, and I'm going to bust out my Janet Protasewicz impression. You ready for it? Over and over and over on the campaign trail, old school listeners of the Dan O'Donnell Show will remember this impression. It sounds exactly like her. Just trust me. This sounds exactly like Janet Protasewicz. This is what she said on multiple occasions about the state legislative maps. The maps are rigged. They're rigged. There's nothing fair about them. It's the best impression of Janet Protasewicz you will ever hear. Ever. Paul says it sounds more like George Costanza's mom, Estelle, from Seinfeld. I think, and I based it on, I'm basically doing Gladys Kravitz from the old Bewitched show. Abner! Abner! They're rigging the maps! Abner! I think it sounds exactly like Janet. Maybe after a couple of cocktails. If you would like to join the Dan O'Donnell Show, 414-799-1130, 1-800-838-9476. Email me, dod@iheartmedia.com, at Dan O'Donnell Show on X, facebook.com/Dan O'Donnell Show as well. This means, ladies and gentlemen, you are going to almost certainly, if left-wing Judge Susan Crawford makes it to the Wisconsin Supreme Court, you could potentially lose thousands of dollars. And I don't mean you in sort of the generic, abstract, collective sense of all of you out there. I mean you. Sitting, hopefully not in traffic, hopefully you're home safe already, listening to me while, I don't know, doing a quick after-work workout in your living room, listening to your AirPods or whatnot. You and your family will lose bare minimum $1,500 every single year, likely much more than that. I wrote about this in my latest column at McIverInstitute.com. You can read it on my social media at Dan O'Donnell Show on X, Facebook.com/Dan O'Donnell Show, or go directly to McIverInstitute.com. It is called The Costly Supreme Court Election. I don't do this often, but this is just a perfect opportunity to read this column because, frankly, this story just broke, and now it is more relevant than ever before. This April's Wisconsin Supreme Court election will almost certainly be the most expensive judicial race in American history in more ways than one. The candidates and their allies will spend a fortune, sure, but the election's outcome may end up costing taxpayers more than anyone. In December, a Dane County Circuit Court judge struck down Act 10, Governor Scott Walker's landmark 2011 law that, according to the most recent McIver Institute analysis, has saved Wisconsin a total of $31 billion. Even before the Supreme Court accepted a direct appeal of the case, alleged conservative Justice Brian Hagedorn announced that he would recuse himself since, as Walker's legal counsel, he helped author parts of Act 10. Without him, conservatives are outnumbered 4-2, and the court's liberals would all vote to overturn the law. Left-wing Justice Janet Protasewicz should also recuse herself after repeatedly prejudging the case by blasting Act 10 on the campaign trail 2 years ago, but since she lacks Hagedorn's moral standards, she most likely will not. Boy, did I call that one, huh? Fellow Justice Ann Walsh-Bradley is retiring when her replacement is elected in April and sworn in this summer, so the Supreme Court race will likely decide whether Act 10 is repealed or not. Unlike the deeply unethical Protasewicz before him, conservative candidate Brad Schimmel has not said how he would rule on Act 10, but it may be safely assumed that since he was Attorney General while Walker was governor, he would not vote to overturn it. His liberal opponent, Susan Crawford, on the other hand, absolutely would. She was the lead attorney for the Madison Teachers Union when it unsuccessfully challenged Act 10 before the Wisconsin Supreme Court shortly after it was enacted in 2011. She said at the time, "This is not just about restrictions on collective bargaining. There are a whole host of provisions in this law that are really aimed at crippling employee unions. The constellation of the provisions in this law operate as a whole to essentially eliminate public employee unions and eliminate the right of employees to associate with them." Nothing she has said or done in the 14 years since would suggest that she thinks any differently about Act 10 today. And she's just as wrong today as she was back then about what the law actually did. It did not kill public employee unions in Wisconsin. It simply ended their ability to hold local government entities hostage by limiting the issues on which unions could collectively bargain. It also forced public employees to pay just a small amount of their own health insurance premiums and contribute just a little toward their own pensions. Prior to Act 10, they had been paying nothing for either one. Taxpayers were stuck with the entire bill. Even after the law was passed, public employees were only required to pay 12.6% of their health insurance premium costs and 50% of their pension contributions. By contrast, private sector employees pay an average of 28% of their family premiums and don't have pensions at all. McIver's most recent analysis of Act 10 found that real total savings have hit $31 billion over the past 14 years. That amounts to $5,433.83 for every man, woman, and child in Wisconsin, or $21,379 for the average family of four. Act 10 has saved the average family $1,500 per year, and if the law is repealed, the average family will pay an additional $1,500 a year in perpetuity. But that doesn't tell the whole story. Because Act 10 has saved local school districts so much money, they haven't been forced to go to referendum as often as they otherwise would have. And school districts have gone to referendum a whole lot over the past 14 years. Last year alone, school districts put 241 funding increases on the ballot, and voters passed 169 of them for a staggering $4.4 billion in new tax revenue. Dozens more school referenda will appear on ballots this spring. If this many school districts are raising taxes while their Act 10 savings are still in place, one shudders to think how often they'll demand more money in new referenda once the law is repealed. And make no mistake, with Susan Crawford on the bench, it will be repealed. She tried and failed to do so as a teachers union attorney 14 years ago, but she'll finally get her wish as a Supreme Court justice. And Wisconsin's taxpayers, you, will be the ones paying for it. That's me writing at the McIver Institute. I have got that column right at the top of my Facebook and X pages. Please do go there, share them. Everyone needs to know this.
Now, here's traffic from Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank. Call the Tri-City Total Traffic Tip Line at 414-944-5111.
Southbound on 43 at Brown Deer, right lane is blocked with an accident. Southbound on 4194 at Drexel, you got a crash off to the left shoulder. Car spun out into the wall there. I'm Kevin Henry. That's your latest Total Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
I'm Total Health's Jay Johnson, the Falls and New Berlin. Remember looking forward to playing with your kids or grandkids and having the energy to? At Total Health, we hear it all the time. People say I'm too tired and worn out to be the person my spouse married or parent or grandparent my family deserves. Sound familiar? Total Health naturopaths find root causes of fatigue and lethargy, then treat you, the whole person, restoring energy and overall wellness. It could be dietary or thyroid function, or maybe you just need to drop some weight. Big Medicine's weight loss injection causing stomach, gallbladder, intestinal, and vascular problems works for them. Sick people are profitable. If excess weight is a contributing factor to you not feeling your best, Total Health naturopaths will never judge you. We'll be honest, providing the tools and motivation to lose weight. Then we'll be with you throughout your journey to feeling happy, healthier, energetic, and well. Be that person your family deserves. It's not theory. Relativity equals expertise plus execution. TotalHealthInc.com. That's TotalHealthInc.com.
Because a great smile goes a long way.
Put a smile on their face at a family place. Elmbrook Family Dental.
Baseball is back. All Brewers games are on sale Friday. Score a seat to opening day. All new theme nights and games with can't miss giveaways now. Gear up for a huge season. The crew is back. Get your seats Friday at Brewers.com.
A customer asked me, how's business? And he kind of said it in an empathetic, I feel your pain, bro, kind of way. And I said, actually, business is strong. And he was like, really? I think with Home Depot and Lowe's that you might be feeling a pinch. And I said, we've never had a problem staying busy because we know our stuff. We do great work. And in store here, we stock a lot of important parts that the big box guys don't. It brings a lot of their customers our way. And he said, that's funny because that's why I'm here. And we both laughed and I was able to find what he needed. And it gave his windows a life extension. If it weren't for those big box guys sending customers our way, we might feel a little pinch. But that's why we stock more window and door parts than anyone, along with an amazing selection of high-quality windows and doors, installed by hand-picked quality craftsmen. This is David Wilhelm, and it's no wonder why Lisbon Storm Screen and Door is your clear choice for more.
Your clear choice for more. Lisbon Storm Screen and Door.
Find us at 51st and Lisbon.
If an emergency happened tomorrow, would you truly be prepared? Most Americans aren't. My Patriot Supply, America's most trusted name in emergency preparedness, is offering a special discount on their Mega 3-month emergency food kit. Each kit provides over 250 calories daily for 90 days. These aren't typical survival rations. My Patriot Supply provides delicious meals and extras, including chicken, beef, real meat, fruits, and veggies. Being prepared is a state of mind. Go to mypatriotsupply.com and take advantage of this $250 discount to secure your family's future now. If you order by 3 p.m., your order will ship within the same day, so you'll be prepared in no time. That's mypatriotsupply.com. mypatriotsupply.com.
For more information about contests on News Talk 1130 WISN, go to newstalk1130.com/rules. All programs on News Talk 1130 WISN are broadcast through the NX Wealth Management Studios. NX Wealth Management. Know the difference.
I've got a math question for you. When you add tolerance, subtract prejudice, and multiply efforts to treat one another with respect, what do you get? Less division. And school sports have it down to a science. Looking for an example of what can happen when we realize there's more that unites us than divides us? Look no further than high school sports in Wisconsin.
This message presented by the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
The next generation is here. You're listening to The Dan O'Donnell Show.
In case you're wondering, this is the DJ Martin Solveig along with Dragonette. The song is titled, as you might guess, Hello. And we have got it as part of the Dan O'Donnell Show official bumper music playlist. It's available on Spotify. We have got it linked up at Dan O'Donnell Show on X, Facebook.com/Dan O'Donnell Show as well. You know what, Paul? I said we weren't going to do it, but a listener just actually read my mind on the AdventKnows.com talk and text line for a suggestion. And this suggestion is indeed today's Unsung Hero of the Day. Today's unsung hero of the day is the brave, heroic Milwaukee police officer who responded to a real dangerous situation. We have now found exclusively the first photograph of the suspect carrying what looks to be an AK-47 and a 30-round magazine inside it. This guy was very obviously out near 27th in Wisconsin today to do damage of some sort. Yet this officer responded to a 911 call of a subject brandishing a long gun and was the first on the scene. As soon as he arrived, with his sidearm drawn, two other officers who are our first and second runners-up as the unsung heroes of the day, the suspect opened fire on the three of them, striking the officer, who's 34 years old, has 8 years of experience with the Milwaukee Police Department multiple times. The other two officers shot and killed the suspect while returning fire. The officer was rushed to Fredert Hospital, where he underwent emergency surgery. He was conscious, but barely. Although as he was being wheeled away on a stretcher as paramedics worked on him, he gave his brothers in arms a thumbs up to let them know he would be okay. And I am happy to report that it does, at least at this point, appear that he will. Multiple sources are telling me that not only will the officer survive, he is going to make a complete and full recovery. It's nothing short of a miracle, and his heroic actions make him the unsung hero of the day. Really, all police officers, all days could be. They go to work. Today, I'm sure, were responding to collisions, spin-outs, fender benders by the hundreds. I couldn't even possibly guess how many collisions and accidents there were today. It's got to be close to 1,000, right, Paul? Across our listening area, Milwaukee, Madison, metropolitan areas, absolutely. I'll bet you for both metro areas, well over 1,000 spinouts, cars in ditches, crashes, collisions. I can't even tell. It's a little dark. I can't see out the window behind me whether it's still coming down. We are still under that winter storm warning. Pretty much every winter evening activity, I should say, that you could possibly have tonight tonight, whether it's basketball practice, whether it's a church group. I've been getting texts all afternoon. They are canceled. Would you believe my kids' school was not canceled today? They were probably, and they were grousing about the fact, all three of them. My daughter even got out of bed. And the first thing she said, she looks outside. There's no snow on the ground whatsoever. And she goes, seriously? They didn't cancel school? Turns out it was probably the right decision, although hindsight, as the old cliche goes, is of course 2020. Every other school district, Milwaukee, was Madison closed today? I apologize for those listening to us on the great 1310 WIBA. I wasn't even aware of a ton of closures out there. Obviously, being located in the Milwaukee area, I'm sort of hyper. And having three kids in a suburban school district in the Milwaukee area, I'm sort of hyper-focused on that. Paul's looking into that right now. My guess is probably not, since the biggest snow totals were always going to be around Lake Michigan because of the lake effect snow band that developed this afternoon. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. Madison was not canceled. Well, my kids' schools were the two in Southeast, the one school district that was still open. Literally every other school district that neighbors us was closed. Their cousin, who goes to a religious school, he was closed. It's right down the street from their school. So they were upset. Well, not upset. They understood. The older ones understood. They're like, yeah, it's probably the right call. On a day like today, I am honestly, normally I give great deference to the schools and school districts. You know, it's tough. I recognize it's tough. You don't know what the forecast is exactly going to be like. And especially when you're trying to predict, okay, how bad is the afternoon pickup and afternoon busing situation going to be? It was pretty bad. It was pretty harrowing, I could imagine, with those buses driving home from school. That said, you always have to worry about the morning commute much more than the afternoon, because the plows have had more of a chance all day to clear the roads. It's just way easier. They can keep up with the ongoing snowfall a lot better in the afternoon. So all things being equal, I would have probably, were I in a superintendent's position, erred on the side of keeping the schools open. But again, I'm not going to begrudge anyone who decided to shut down. But now that the sun is down, now that, again, we're dealing with just a crummy commute, now that you're probably stuck in traffic, you're sick of me droning on about stupid stuff like whether or not I would close schools. Who cares, right? You're probably in a bad mood. You're hungry. You're late for dinner. You need cheering up, right? Ladies and gentlemen, right now, an encore presentation of the Boomer Lib banger from yesterday's protest in Washington, D.C. Which side are you on?
Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Tell me. Which side are you on? Which side are you on? They say in the capital city there are no neutrals found. You're either with the Union or a scabby musk bloodhound. Oh, which side are you on? Which side are you on? Tell me. Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
Telling you, folks, you can be a boomer and be just fine. I know a lot of fantastic boomers. My parents are boomers. My in-laws are boomers. Boomers are fantastic. You can be a lib. I've even got some friends and family members who are libs. You can be just fine. But you cannot be a boomer lib, lest everyone around you die of cringe.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Tell me. side are you on? Which side are you on? Don't take that government buyout. Don't listen to Trump's lies. Us workers haven't got a chance unless we organize. Oh,
bring it home, Boomer Libs!
Which side are you on? Tell me. Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
Ladies and gentlemen, the latest Boomer Lib banger. You are listening to classical conservatism and contemporary style on the Dan O'Donnell Show.
From the Lynch family of dealerships Total Traffic Center.
Northbound 4194, couple left lanes are blocked with an accident. Southbound right near there at Drexel, crash block in the left shoulder. 4145 northbound at North Avenue, a crash off to the right. I'm Kevin Henry. That's your latest Total Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code RADIO for an extra 5% off.
Recently, we lost Bob Uecker, but Bob's legacy lives on. Bob Uecker's impact on Milwaukee and Wisconsin exceeds anything that happened on a baseball diamond or in a broadcast booth. One such thing is the Bob Uecker Endowed Chair in Pancreatic Cancer Research at the Medical College of Wisconsin. This chair was established by Bob and is supported by many others in our community with the goal of fighting the devastating disease of pancreatic cancer. To all involved, thank you. This message of gratitude is presented by the Medical College of Wisconsin and WISN Radio.
Whether it was from a burn, heat, water, or candle wax spill, if you have a great piece of wood furniture that has a damaged top, don't worry, because if we have to, we can refinish tops only. Other places may say you need to refinish the whole piece, but we can do better than that. So don't let your great piece go to waste. If it's just the top you need refinished, or for jobs of any size, by golly, it's Mullally. Mullally Furniture Finishing and Repair. Serving everywhere. Quality counts. MULLALY finishing.com. He was told it would cost him $1,000 to refinish his chair. But when it was done, he'd be able to sell it for at least twice that. Only to find out that he paid more to refinish the chair than it was actually worth. You gotta watch out for dishonest people out there. But not over here. With over 50 years of experience, we'll give you a good idea of the value of your piece and whether it's worth refinishing. So for honest answers, by golly, it's Mullally. Mullally Furniture Finishing and Repair. We're no job's too small. Serving everywhere. Quality counts.
Transition matured savings bonds, certificates of deposit, and whole life insurance into assets protected from creditors, even Medicaid drawdown. With Refi Trust, zero fees, zero taxes. Refi Trust takes just minutes. We do all the work. Refi Trust, your assets, your choice. RefiTrust.com.
Dan O'Donnell here for Mander Collision and Glass, now with 7 locations to serve you in Waukesha, Milwaukee, Muskego, Brookfield, Heartland, Cedarburg, and their Waukesha Fleet and Specialty location. If you have a business with a multi-vehicle fleet, Mander is the place to go because their team understands you can't have a vehicle out of service for a while, so they work quickly and efficiently to get you back on the road and serving your customers as fast as possible through expedited fleet repairs. Mander has been serving their customers and their community for well over 20 years, and they know that the key is expert workmanship and fast turnaround times combined with the sort of customer service that you'll only find at a family-owned local business like Mander. Start your repair today at mandercollision.com and find out for yourself why Mander truly is your best decision after a collision.
Family dentistry, cosmetic whitening, Ross Dental straight smiles, and full sedation dentistry for anxious patients needing substantial restoration. Our mission? Your comfort, health, and confidence.
Smile like you just don't care.
Because you don't. RossDentalWI.com.
Are you on track to achieve your retirement plans? Hi, I'm Jeff Kowal of Kowal Investment Group. We've recently joined Creative Planning, a national registered investment advisor. This move to Creative expands our ability to provide comprehensive wealth management, investment advisory, and retirement planning services. Now is the time to put your lifetime of hard work into action. For over 37 years, we've helped clients toward making their retirement dreams become a reality, and we'd like to help you too. And the best part, your plan will be completely tailored to you. Our in-house robust team of specialists will take the time to learn about you and your family, review your current situation, and find out what your goals are. Then we'll design a plan to help you get there. To get started, request your free meeting today with one of our fiduciary advisors by visiting creativeplanning.com. Whether you have met with us in the past or this will be your first meeting with us, we're excited to introduce Kowal Investment Group to you as Creative Planning. Visit creativeplanning.com today.
Get answers to your remodeling questions from Milwaukee Neri Home Improvement Council members on this week's Remodeling Show. To find a trusted, qualified, dependable, and local remodeling specialist, turn to Neri. Call 414-771-4071 or visit milwaukeeneri.org.
Hey, this is Chris Leby with Lake Country Flat Fee. Are you getting ready to sell your home soon? If you're going to be selling your home, then consider our services. We have a 23-year track record of success. We have expert realtors who are efficient, very knowledgeable at what they do, and provide an exceptional level of service. And savings are a given. Our sellers save about 50% versus a traditional 6% broker. To learn more or to schedule a free market analysis, visit our website at lakecountryflatfee.com.
In a world where every second counts,
bird flu is spreading nationwide, driving up egg prices.
iHeartRadio has one podcast that keeps you informed. 24/7 News, the latest. Today's latest news every hour in just 4 minutes.
Rex Heuermann's case is being adjourned again.
Be the first to know.
President Trump has sent a loud and clear message.
iHeartRadio's 24/7 News, the latest. Open the free iHeart app and listen now.
Opinion, emotion, passion. This is News Talk 1130 WISN.
Unfortunately, I hate to keep doing this. We are going to have to push back. Guess what's racist? We had breaking news pretty much nonstop. We had exclusive stories come in over and over again. Who knew the mayor was going to lament the tragedy of the guy who very nearly killed a cop this afternoon? That unfortunately required a good amount of our. We also had Janet Protasewicz surprising absolutely no one by announcing that, of course, she's not going to recuse herself from the Act 10 decision. She was installed on the court specifically to overturn Act 10, just like Susan Crawford, the current hack lefty candidate, has been installed to steal 2 Wisconsin congressional seats by rigging the state's electoral maps, striking down the ones that have been repeatedly upheld and have been in place for now 5 years. But ahead of the 2026 midterm, well, she's been conspiring with the Wisconsin Democratic Party as per an event they both attended, she and the Democratic Party chairman, Ben Wickler, in which the express purpose was to, quote, put 2 congressional seats in play. The invitation email said, hey, we did it before with Janet Protasewicz getting elected in 2023. We gerrymandered the state legislative maps, and Democrats very nearly won a majority. Now we can do the same doggone thing with the congressional maps. Oh, if you think I'm lying about that, my offer does still stand. And yes, I am absolutely serious about this. Yes, I have no problem donating $10,000 to either the Susan Crawford for Justice campaign, the Wisconsin Democratic Party, or some lefty organization of anyone's choice. If I get full, and listeners were reminding me yesterday when I made this very generous offer, unedited, complete video and audio. If I think that anything has been taken out of anything I am provided, you don't get your money, lefties. I'm actually contemplating upping that offer to $15,000. I'm going to be offering like $100,000 by the time this election rolls around. That's how confident I am that nobody is going to take me, because they all know what was said during that meeting. Susan Crawford knows she didn't just introduce herself. She talked specifically about how she was going to vote to overturn the congressional maps, and she was actually conspiring with the Democrats to rig the 2026 midterms. Now, ladies and gentlemen, yesterday we had a winner in the cold hard cash contest. Dave in West Bend was listening at 3 o'clock. He won $1,000. His entry was picked at random. At 5:44 p.m. exactly on this February 12th, I can guarantee that we will have another winner. Do you know how I know this? Because I completely forgot to give out the 5 o'clock word, and we've only got 11 minutes for you to enter it. That should be plenty of time. That's like 10 minutes and 57 seconds more than you need to go to our website and enter the keyword cash, C-A-S-H, cash. You have got until 55 past this hour to go to our website and enter the keyword cash to enter the contest for this hour. We only have a tiny little bit of time, but I do want to get to this story because I think it is important. Chicken P. No, it's not a dish. It is a wrapper. It's a very generous wrapper. Bought hamburgers for a whole lot of people, and he basically sent a thrill running up Ted Perry's leg on last night's Fox 6 News.
New at 5, a Milwaukee rapper walks into a McDonald's and leaves with 500 burgers.
He says, it's not his typical order. It's his way of giving back to the community.
Durante Matthews shows us the surprise order aimed at feeding the homeless.
All right, Durante, it's a feel-good story. I was actually drawn in by this. I love this. Chicken P is a Milwaukee-based rapper, and he has got some bangers on Spotify. I'm warning you, the language is terrible, but he's got like 3 million spins on his biggest song. He's got millions of spins on some of these songs. He is a talented rapper. He's generous too. Here we go. Wait. Hold on. Mary Stoker Smith, I know you were very excited by Chicken P buying chicken nuggets, but here's Durante Matthews' story.
Here come that Big Mac right now.
Just when you think you've heard every possible order.
Big Mac up.
On Monday, this McDonald's got one a little rare.
Manager called back 500 burgers.
You heard that right, 500.
That's a lot of burgers.
Especially for manager Elijah Jones.
So me being me, I just come up front like, who ordered 500 burgers?
He says that's when he saw Rakib Smith, better known to the Milwaukee community as rapper Chicken P.
I shook his hand and I went back to we got to making the burgers.
So employees say it's...
Now, do you address him as like chicken? Like, hey, what up, chicken? Chick? Mr. P? P dog? Like Kendrick Lamar goes by K dot? Do you call him P dot?
It took 4 people to make those 500 burgers. 2 made cheeseburgers and 2 made hamburgers, and they were able to wrap it all up in about 45 minutes. Now, before you think the rapper has the biggest stomach in the world,
you finna go feed the streets.
He says this was just his way of giving back.
Really, I just be in the spirit, bro, sometimes.
Chicken P says he drove around for hours giving food out to folks in the homeless community.
I was giving each person 2 burgers. If I see like a mom and she had kids with her, I'll just give her like 20 burgers.
The rapper, who is also related to a Fox 6 employee, tells me this is his second time doing this. He says he sees the need every day.
You want to give back. We riding around, there's people outside cold. They got 1 million kids. Walk in, they freezing.
The total burger bill, more than $1,100. But the rapper says he wants to pay it forward, and hopefully others will follow suit.
I feel like that's much respect, because everybody don't do that.
1 meal at a time.
Full of burgers.
Durante Matthews, Fox 6 News.
All right. That's a pretty damn entertaining story. And Chicken P sounds like a pretty cool dude. I'm not going to lie. I listened to a couple of his tracks, and I'm like, all right. Mary Stoker-Smith and Ted Perry coming out of that story were positively euphoric.
That is, imagine how that car smelled, right? Yeah, Chicken P tells Fox 6 this is not going to be his last time trying to do his part. He says he does plan to do his part in feeding the community at least, are you ready for this? Every other week.
Yeah, just not 500 burgers at a time. But good for him. For putting his money where his mouth is.
Yeah, the burgers. We're going to need a bigger bag in there. A lot of burgers. Wow.
Well, Chicken P might not actually be doing this again because he might be otherwise occupied in prison. I wanted to name Mr. P my unsung hero of the day, but I did a little digging. Like many rappers, he has had his issues with law enforcement. No real surprise there. He's got a very lengthy criminal record, but he also has multiple open cases, one of which, as recently as August 9th, for second-degree recklessly endangering safety, battery, intentionally pointing a firearm at a person, and disorderly conduct, all with a domestic abuse modifier. He is currently out on $2,500 cash bond. There is also an open case against Mr. P, possession with intent to deliver more than 40 grams of cocaine. That is a Class C felony, and let me tell you, friend, that is an absolute bleep load of cocaine. He also faces 3 counts of bail jumping. Case is still open. He was charged in April of 22, 2 counts of being a felon in possession of a firearm, but both charges were dismissed. In June of 2021, Mr. P was charged with almost the exact same crime as his most recent domestic abuse case: battery, strangulation and suffocation, false imprisonment, and disorderly conduct, all with the domestic abuse modifier. All charges against him were dismissed in 2023, almost as soon as the case was set to begin a trial. Any guesses as to what happened in that case? I have no concrete answers, but what always happens in those? What do you think? They're ready to go to trial. They are going to fry Chicken P in the court of law. Then all of a sudden the case is dismissed. All the charges are dropped. Why? Witness. The complaining witness, i.e. the girlfriend, the wife, whomever, goes back to him. She decides to turn the other cheek, or as it were, turn the other wing or drumstick and take back Chicken P. Or Chicken P at this point is making quite a bit of money. Maybe he pays her off. I don't know. But this is always what happens. The complaining witness, the victim, just doesn't show up for trial. They have no choice. They have no witness. They have no testimony. They have no case. He's out, and he gets caught with a couple of guns, and then dealing cocaine, and then another domestic. Now, the question is, for Fox 6, didn't take me all that long to find this out about Mr. P. Should they have informed their viewers about this? Ethically, did they have an obligation to say, hey, wait a second, he is also facing some very serious open cases? Now, if the cases were closed against him, he's, paid his debt to society, fine. He's a rapper. He's not running for Congress. Right. They made him out to be a folksy hero. Yes, you have to. Thank you, Paul. Now, the question I would have is, well, Chicken P is related to a Fox 6 employee. Who could that be? Turkey D? I don't know. Who at Fox 6 is related to Chicken P? But Is that why they didn't tell the full story? And clearly a relative of Mr. P would know about his scrapes with the law. Look, even people who do bad things can do good things, great things. And it's undeniably good and cool that I would pay to ride along with Chicken P handing out all those hamburgers, because you know that man was having the time of his life. He's probably recognized everywhere, just handing out burgers to people. By the end of it, if it was 1,000 burgers, those had to be pretty doggone cold, okay? Like, I hope they fitted Mr. P with like the heaters that you take pizzas around in for delivery drivers. But yeah, it just rubbed me the wrong way. And look, the simplest explanation is that Fox 6 had no idea about this. And it's just a little feel-good story. But I guess, as Paul Harvey used to say, now you know the rest of the story. You're listening to The Dan O'Donnell Show.
Now, here's traffic from Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank. Call the Tri-City Total Traffic Tip Line at 414-944-5111.
In Waukesha County, all westbound 94 traffic at Highway 83 blocked off because of an accident. Still got a crash taking out 2 left lanes, 4194 northbound at Ryan Road. Heavy delays approaching there. I'm Kevin Henry. That's your latest total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Audible. Tap into your well-being with Audible audiobooks, podcasts, and originals. Expand your life with expert insight and motivation for better health, habits, relationships, finance, and more. Start listening free when you sign up for a 30-day trial at audible.com.
I'm Ryan Harrison, owner of Ryan Waterproofing. Does it seem like storms travel hundreds of miles out of their way against prevailing winds to keep your basement damp, wet, moldy, even flooded? It isn't going to resolve itself. Freezing and thawing over time expands damage to walls, foundations, and even your family's health. That's not purified water seeping or running through your basement walls. It's filth, carrying every sort of bacteria, fungus, and mold. Only Ryan Waterproofing has an estimator project coordinator you'll love. Ashley's expert, honest, and will make you comfortable with the solutions proposed, and she'll be with you every step of the project. Doesn't matter how bad the cracks or sag in your basement walls are. Ryan has affordable sealant and water abatement solutions for most basements, with convenient financing options, including 18 months no-interest financing. You actually might enjoy walking in the rain when it's not in your basement. Contact Ryan today, because praying for drought is overrated. Ryan Waterproofing. Call Ryan.com. That's call RION.com. Call Ryan.com.
Hey, Jason, what do you think of Capital's new jingle?
I like it, but I don't love it.
What? Why not?
It's catchy, but it says call capitalcares.com. So is it telling people to call or go online when they need help with heating, plumbing, or electrical?
Yes.
Yes to what?
Yes to both. So call or go online and right now get a $49 Beyondification. That's a furnace tune-up done right for only $49.
Got it. And Mimi does rock the vocals.
Call capitalcares.com.
Josh from Infinity here. The exterior remodeling industry is notorious for wild price disparities and hidden costs. Infinity has revolutionized the exterior remodeling experience. Our custom-built app is your window into our world of clear, accurate pricing.
MJ here. No more guesswork. No more unpleasant surprises. Every detail, all materials are clear for you to see. Absolute pricing transparency makes Infinity the most trusted roofing and exterior remodeling company in the Midwest.
We built Infinity on a foundation of integrity. More than installing roofs, siding, and windows, Infinity installs peace of mind, building lifelong relationships with our customers.
Infinity's proprietary app is an extension of our commitment, providing exact line item pricing, something unheard of in roofing and exterior remodeling.
Infinity's unmatched buying power saves you money. We pay less, you pay less. Infinity provides multiple budget options real time. Everything is at your fingertips, including financing options before we leave your home.
Warranted, guaranteed quality, installing peace of mind. InfinityRoofing.com.
I'm Matt Geyer, founder of MKG Transport, manufacturers from Madison to Green Bay to Fond du Lac to Kenosha to Rockford's competitive advantage. In 2008, MKG was me driving one truck and my wife running the business. We realized communication is a huge advantage for MKG partner businesses. So did they. Well, MKG Transportation's capabilities quickly expanded. Our commitment to local manufacturers' success never wavered. MKG is not a shipping company or messy freight brokerage. We are in manufacturing process delivery experts. It's simple, like seeing freight ready to go on your dock and your MKG mover asking if you need it handled, to becoming an extension of your shop, understanding needs and scheduling, and making sure MKG is prepared to help as and when you need. You'll wonder if your MKG moving team is getting briefings from your work-in-progress status meetings. Movers care and recognize your consistency is keeping trucks in service and close to be able to handle your needs. Same day, next day. Our drive, manufacturing movement, mkgtransport.com.
It's February 12th, and this is your Fox Daily Snapshot. Today is National Lost Penny Day. The first penny ever was designed by Benjamin Franklin and minted in 1787. The penny with the bust of President Abraham Lincoln was first minted in 1909, released on February 12th to commemorate the 100th anniversary of his birth. The 16th president is known for fighting the U.S. Civil War against the South, which ended slavery with the Union victory April 9th, 1865. Former Yugoslav President Slobodan Milosevic goes on trial for war crimes in 2002. His prolonged trial ends without a verdict when the so-called Butcher of the Balkans was found dead at the age of 64. Born on this day in 1934, basketball legend and Hall of Famer Bill Russell, the five-time MVP of the NBA, led the Boston Celtics to 11 championships from 1957 to 1969. I'm CJ Papa. That's your Fox Daily Snapshot.
Bumper music intro, it felt like I should pop out of a wicker basket and start doing a belly dance. What is this banger, you might be asking? Well, you can find out the official Dan O'Donnell Show bumper music playlist live on Spotify. Just search for it there, or find it on my social media. I actually had a listener contact me. He signed up for Spotify just to get that playlist. I don't want that. They're our competitor. Should be signing up for iHeartRadio. All right, we are out of time. Thursday edition of the show tomorrow. Talk to you then.